entertainment. We'll start with this one. Tom Girardi, the disgraced powerhouse attorney known for his marriage to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Erica Jane.
Who knows this?
Was found guilty yesterday of embezzling more than $15 million from former clients, taking money from their settlement funds. You may, depending on if you watch or not, have heard of those victims before, as his most famous case was against Pacific Gas and Electric Company, depicted in the film Erin Brockovich. Girardi has been battling dementia in recent years, but was deemed fit to stand trial in the case.
So he was one of the litigants against the company that got the settlement?
Yeah, I guess so. It says against Pacific Gas and Electric Company. So he even testified that in his case, that every client got every penny that every client was supposed to get. But
Except for what he took.
Yeah, that's true.
Every client got every bit of the money I didn't take.
Except for what I deserved.
Yeah.
But still, the jury was quick to side with the prosecution. While Erica, his wife, has been linked to the scandal since it broke in 2020. She was not charged in the case. Jane filed for divorce in 2021, but she and Girardi have not finalized their split as of yet. So he's in a lot of trouble. Hailey Bieber has made her first post as a mom, and it's probably already gone. Hailey shared a clip from The Land Before Time featuring Littlefoot, Sarah, and Ducky hatching from their eggs on her Instagram story. Her fans are pretty sure that's a fun nod to the fact that she has just welcomed her new baby recently, her own new baby, Jack Blues Bieber. Meanwhile, Justin Bieber's wax figure at Madame Tussauds in London got a makeover, celebrating the singer's new family member. So the House of Wax has added a new accessory to his statue, a baby carrier and baby strapped across his chest.
I think it's kind of, they went with a classic name. They went with Jack. It's kind of wild, right?
Yeah.
You figured,
Yep, Jack Blues Bieber. They didn't go all celebrity weird naming thing. Justin announced that he and Hailey had welcomed Jack last Friday, sharing a photo of Jack's foot on Instagram. That photo also shared Hailey's manicured nails, which just apparently had picked out himself. Justin had picked out himself. So
The nail color?
I guess so.
Oh.
you let Dennis pick out your nail color,
No,
right?
no one picks out my nail color.
That's a private.
That is a private
decision.
matter.
You shut your mouth.
That's your version of nobody puts baby in a corner.
Yeah.
Nobody picks out my nail color.
No one picks out my nail color.
So Channing Tatum is the latest in a string of celebs spotted hanging out with Taylor Swift as she takes a much-needed break from touring. The actor was seen at Tay-Tay's Rhode Island holiday home. The actor was seen on Monday spending some time by himself, taking pictures of the private beach. Other celebs seen at the residence recently included Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, Travis Kelce, Bradley Cooper, and Patrick and Brittany Mahomes. Apparently, that A-list crew got together over the weekend to celebrate Lively's 37th birthday. And I have another interesting thing about Channing Tatum. Gambit, the character from the X-Men series, may get his shot at a standalone movie after all. Ryan Reynolds brought Gambit and Tatum in for a cameo in Deadpool and Wolverine. It's out of the bag now.
Yes.
But a deleted scene seems to hint that the Marvel character survived whatever mayhem goes down in the film. Reynolds dropped the clip yesterday with the caption, "Whispers Marvel Sparkle Circle."
Did you see it?
Yes, I did. And those circles are seen in Gambit's eyes, and apparently they are Doctor Strange's portals opening up.
Listen, if he gets behind it, if Ryan Reynolds is behind it, the momentum and the reaction, obviously the movie was huge, and the reaction to Gambit was huge. Wouldn't this be wild if they finally go through with it?
I'm saying now it will happen.
Yeah.
It's now getting teased by Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is as A-list and as go as you can get. And everybody fawned over Channing Tatum in this cameo. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, they need more excitement.
Yeah.
And this is going to be it.
This will do it. I love the comic book accurate costume. I loved everything about it.
Yes. So it does hint at Gambit survival, but paired with Ryan Reynolds championing of the character and Tatum in the role, paves the way for Gambit's movie that Tatum has always wanted. So we will see, but I'm putting my money on it absolutely, positively happening at this point. Christina Hall and her husband Joshua Hall These are the home improvement.
Yeah, the real estate.
Are in the middle of a divorce. And instead of Christina taking her ring off, which she'll do if she hasn't already, she went a step further. On her Instagram stories on Monday.
She cut her hand off?
No, she posted a video of her undergoing a tattoo removal procedure on her ring finger. I guess she has a tattooed.
There's the liability of
ring.
getting your ring tattooed on.
She also posted a thirst trap from Hawaii where she's looking fantastic in a bikini on a balcony.
That ain't bad. That ain't bad. This is the first time I've seen that. I'm sorry. Give me a minute.
No, she's a good-looking
that ain't
woman.
bad.
No choice about it.
Preston has to go.
Can you?
Yeah, I'm going to go rub one out. I'll be right back.
You have to excuse me a second. That woman is featured in that war front story was super hot. Tommy got to make some magic. Holy Christ, that trained her around. Did you see that one police officer, that female? Jesus Christ. Give me a few minutes. I'm going to go have some late breaking news in my pants.
We'll just play the theme for a while here.
Yes, please, talk amongst yourselves.
Yes.
You got them smoking.
I'm sorry. I glanced over and it's a sexy ass picture, and I just had to take that in for a moment. So
It works.
sorry.
I gotta rub one out.
And by the way, I did. I rubbed one out. Right
Quickly. Listen, when you get,
listen, I've got it down pat.
well, you develop a technique.
You do. And I wasn't teasing myself. Wasn't tickling or nothing.
No. You got to get right to business.
Christina
It
and
was pudding time
and
instead of clobbering time.
Isn't that great, Kathy? Pudding time.
Yeah. You guys are on a roll today.
Christina and Joshua both filed for divorce last month after 3 years of marriage.
I sense, looking, and she is a dazzling woman. There's no two ways about it. Do you think it's safe to say she's high maintenance?
Yeah.
Do you think that's
I mean, if I'm just going to guess on things that I don't really know about, yeah, probably.
Yeah, and it could be wrong, but it seems to be. I don't know. Casey, you were never a fan of hers, right?
No.
And was she sort of that way, or I mean, we can't tell for real.
No,
for reals.
And listen, they're all polished for the camera.
Yeah.
And all the all the blemishes are usually left on the editing room floor. And
Right.
You know what I mean? But I just there was just something about her that just didn't stick.
So this is nice to hear. Top Gun Maverick star Miles Teller and wife Keely Teller just celebrated their 5th anniversary. And when it came to gift giving, Keely went next level on this guy.
What'd she do?
On her Instagram Monday, she posted a clip of her, quote, proposing to an obvious confused Miles. On one knee, she presented him with a box with a key in it. And she said, "Will you accept the key to my heart?" While friends explained to a befuddled Miles, they said, "She's proposing to you." And that key would come into play momentarily as a boat blasting Danger Zone from Kenny Loggins.
No way.
Of course, from Top Gun, pulled up to the couple and she goes, "I bought you a boat."
Wow.
Right?
Wow, that is awesome.
Keely
He wanted a swim spot.
captioned the post, "An early 5-year wedding anniversary surprise. Miles always said it's not fair that men don't get proposed to, so cheesed out and did it for him with his dream boat."
I really like him. I think they're a cute couple. The Super Bowl commercial they did, I thought was kind of adorable.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So I haven't seen this boat now. I'm assuming,
It's got to be a
well, I'm also assuming that maybe he had
Some
said,
ideas.
like, that's the one that I
Right.
want or something, because you don't just go out and buy somebody a boat. That's
Right.
something that somebody picks out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not like a yacht, though. It's a beautiful boat.
It's
but
a sport. It's for like wakeboarding and stuff like that. You can see it's got the rigs on the sides for
got it.
wakeboards. It's small.
An Eagles beach towel. I saw that.
Oh, yeah,
that's it?
Yeah, you go back to like one of the first pictures. Go
yeah,
back.
nice.
Yeah.
We have got to get him on the show.
Yeah.
We've got to. I mean, you guys spent an entire week with his dad. All right, maybe not just that one
Half an
game.
inning. Half an inning. with his dad.
But in baseball, that's a long time.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
a long
that's-
time. We grew together. So that's really cool. So I thought that was a nice story to share. Samantha Hanratty from the show Yellowjackets. For those who watch that show, she plays the young version of Misty, who is this demented character, by the way.
So, started watching.
Ah,
I'm about 3 episodes in.
okay.
It hasn't hooked me yet.
Okay.
But you're saying
Stick with it.
stick with it.
Yep,
All right.
absolutely. She brought a camera along. She cleverly broke the news to her castmates. Monday, she posted a video. She's pregnant, by the way. That's
Okay.
That's what the news is. The actress posted the video to TikTok from handing over her positive pregnancy test to making sure that all three of us, quote, were visible to the camera. Hanratty got creative as she surprised the cast and crew. So she
Did the cast surprise her with a boat?
no, but I don't think that's caught on as the thing to do yet.
When you're pregnant?
Yeah,
Here's
maybe
your boat.
maybe soon. But
You know, we surprised you with a boat one time, Steve. Do you
You
remember?
did, yes.
Yeah.
There's a kayak, a see-through kayak.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
I did take that out once.
Former pitcher Patrick Mahomes Sr., more well-known today as the father of NFL great Patrick Mahomes, has entered a plea of guilty to a felony DWI charge. Mahomes Sr. entered the plea yesterday morning just before he was slated to go to trial in the case in Smith County, Texas.
See, when everything in your life is going impossibly well, you need that one family member who's going to F things up.
He's got two.
Yeah, he's got the brother.
Yeah, the brother's total jerk as well.
So Dad was arrested in February after a routine traffic stop during which he told police that he had been drinking prior to getting behind the wheel. He also had an open 16-ounce can of Coors in his car at the time that he was pulled over. Mahomes Sr. is now facing up to 10 years behind bars.
What?
I doubt he'll get that.
No.
As well as a fine of up to $10,000. Or maybe it's $10 million. I'm not really
10
sure.
million?
Yeah,
10 million?
10 million?
Maybe.
$10 million.
Yes.
$10 million.
That seems like a sharp fine.
His sentencing is scheduled for September 23rd. Kathy, I have a story specifically for you.
Yeah.
You probably already know this because you've
Okay.
got your finger on the pulse, but Yellowstone is reportedly getting a 6th season. Did you hear about this?
So that's in addition to the part 2 of season 5?
Yes.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
news coming from industry newsletter Puck comes out as a shock to many fans of the hit show, as most people were preparing to say goodbye to it later this year when part 2 of season 5 debuts.
Right, okay.
But Kelly Riley and Cole Hauser, who play Beth Dutton and Rip Wheeler, would apparently be taking on the lead roles in season 6.
Could that work?
Yes, which is completely fine. He is who everyone loves. She's such a badass on the show. They can do that, I think, with them. I just don't know how they're going to get there. Like, I don't know how they're going to come back for part 2 of 5 and be like, oh, by the way, he's not here.
He's dead.
He's dead.
Yeah.
Well, is he dead? Because there's rumors that Richard Mall is going to play the Kevin Costner role.
From Mall?
Yeah, Bull
Bull from
Night
Night
Court.
Court?
Wow.
I thought he died.
I don't know.
He's dead.
Is he?
Yeah.
That's
Well,
why
that's
it's
gonna
such
be
a
tough.
shock, Nick. Why would you cast a dead person?
I mean, they haven't done that in a while. Like, I think we were talking about, weren't we talking about Roseanne the other day case where
Yeah.
the one sister just changed. All of
Yeah.
a sudden she was a different person. Like,
And then she changed back.
and then she changed back. You don't see that anymore, so I don't think they're going to stick I mean, I know you're joking, but I don't know if they're going to stick somebody in there.
Well, if it's as big as a name as Kevin Costner, that's a hard one
Yeah.
to...
You don't go
Just-
Richard Mall after.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember one of the classic ones, Kathy, years ago was Darren Stevens on Bewitched. They changed. They just changed actors.
Switched them out. I
Did
know.
York
And Aunt Viv.
Sergeant? Yeah,
Yeah,
Aunt
yeah.
Viv.
Aunt
Aunt
Viv
Viv.
completely
That's
switched.
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
So
she didn't get along with Will Smith.
It's happened a few times.
But
yeah.
I love this. Them as the leading couple, it'll work.
It'll work. All right.
So they are apparently currently closing deals for the potential 6th season, and this all follows the behind-the-scenes drama that saw Kevin Costner leave the show after the first half of season 5. Of course, even if Yellowstone ended, there are a ton of spinoffs that fans could watch instead. One spinoff, The Madison, is currently set to star Michelle Pfeiffer and Matthew Fox.
this is a whole dynasty here of all these shows.
And will follow a New York family that moves to Montana.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
Are they over milking this thing, Kathy?
I mean, no.
Yeah,
no,
the shows are good?
No, everyone loves it. Everyone wants more. It's like, we're waiting for what the hell's going to happen here. But the character that plays Rip, Cole Hauser, he's sort of John Dutton, Kevin Costner's like right-hand man. So
Okay.
that's why it'll work. Because he's basically taught him everything. He does everything for him and
right.
can follow in his footsteps.
All right. Circling back to Yellowjackets, Joel McHale is joining the 3rd season of the show.
He's a good actor, man.
He's set to be a guest star in the thriller series. It's on Paramount Plus and Showtime with Showtime. Details about his role are currently under wraps. The 3rd season is in production and is set to hit screens at some point in 2025. The details are pretty light in general, as the cast and crew don't want to spoil anything. That said, Christina Ricci previously shared that the new episodes will be even more shocking and surprising than the previous seasons. It's definitely going to be brutal, she said.
You asked me last week about if I had seen his role in The Bear in the season finale, and I hadn't when you asked me, and I watched it over the weekend. Holy crap, man.
Isn't he good?
He is unbelievably great on The Bear.
The ultimate prick.
Yeah. As a terrible person, he's great.
Yeah, no, he plays. You can't get more. Oh my God,
Reprehensible.
rude,
Unrelenting.
mean, and wow.
The Yellowjackets thing, Preston, with the shock factor.
Yes,
It is. I mean, I'm just a little bit into it.
Yeah.
And you could scarcely imagine by just passing the series and seeing the teaser that's because I know where we're leading. I can tell what they're setting up.
Yeah, and and then it starts to add some things that you weren't expecting.
All right.
That are not. I don't want to.
No.
You just keep watching.
Just tell me how it ends.
I'll just let me tell you how the last season wrapped up. All right, long-time General Hospital star Kelly Monaco is leaving the daytime soap.
What?
Still on it?
She is, yes. Deadline reports that Monaco, who first joined the show in 2003 and portrays Sam McHale, will leave sometime this fall. Monaco.
Sam McHale will leave in the fall?
Yeah, she will. She has shot more than 2,200 episodes of General Hospital.
It's insane.
And has received 2 Daytime Emmy nominations for her work. She's also known in primetime as the first winner of the Mirrorball Trophy in season 1 of Dancing with the Stars.
She got into phenomenal shape during that season.
Yeah, she's really in wonderful shape. She's a beautiful woman. There are reports that not only are fans blindsided by the news, but Monaco was as well. And fans are moving to halt the departure with a petition on change.org, which has garnered almost 3,000 signatures as of yesterday.
So they're booting her ass.
I guess.
She's not leaving of her own volition.
I don't really know.
You don't do that to Kelly Monaco.
They kind of, in a roundabout way, indicate that.
She's a multiple non-award winner.
One last story. A bunch of Friends memorabilia is up for auction. Julianne's Auctions is hosting the auction on September 23rd. They have a ton of stuff from the show. The items up for auction include the Central Perk couch.
It's kind of cool.
Ross's apartment furniture, costumes worn by characters like Rachel Ross and more, not to mention the teal sweater worn by Matthew Perry.
What about that dog, the dog statue?
Oh, yeah. They wheel it in one of those episodes. Yeah, and I think Matthew Perry's riding it when they win the apartment. Yeah, that'd be a cool one to get.
Maybe. Don't really know. I would like the frame around the peephole.
Yeah, that's very cool.
I mean, that's every shot
is
of the apartment. Some of the items up for auction are reportedly replicas, but others are reportedly straight from the set, including costumes for guest stars like Christina Applegate, Bruce Willis, Paul Rudd, and more.
What about the foosball table?
Yeah, several items are the real deal, but some are replicas, it said. Did I already say that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, it may be worth a bid, and you can check out this stuff on Julianne's website.
If you were to get, this is a super open question. What piece of memorabilia would you get from a show if there's one thing iconically that stands out to you? Does anything come to mind?
I'd really have to think long and hard about that.
Maybe Ricky Schroeder's race car bed from Silver Spoon.
It was kind of cool, wasn't it?
I mean, it's funny because I fall in love with shows and they're a big deal at the time. So, I had all these Ted Lasso T-shirts.
Right.
I really don't wear them anymore.
I know,
which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
I still have all my original Small Wonder shirts.
So, I mean, the Believe poster,
right,
would be pretty amazing
if
to have the actual one from the show.
If it had not been torn up, or if they kept the original one and that was framed, that would be pretty friggin' awesome.
Yeah. And I'm thinking of Game of Thrones and other shows that I've just dived headfirst into. There's a lot of stuff from Game of Thrones.
In the very last episode of Cheers, Sam adjusts the frame of Geronimo that's hanging on the wall. And so to me, that's my favorite show of all time. And that same frame hung in Nicholas Colasanto's locker when he played coach. So that'd be for me. I would want that. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
what if I came over to your house and I gifted you Tecumseh? Would you take that?
Yes, I would.
The Native American statue that's right next to the front door there.
Yeah, that'd be a good
Cheers?
one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, really anything from Cheers.
Anything from Cheers. Really.
There's plenty on that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyhow, think amongst yourselves about that because that's it in the entertainment report. Oh no, wait, we have clips.
Yeah,
Are they in here?
they're in there somewhere.
Oh, got it. There we go. Okay. So let's begin with this. country's biggest stars gathered last month for a benefit to celebrate Toby Keith, with proceeds going to Toby's foundation, the OK Kids Corral. And here, Stellan Keith talks about what his dad would have thought about the event.
The corral benefit, he'd obviously love. That's a big piece of his legacy that he left behind. Everyone getting together to celebrate him, he probably wouldn't love. He would think it was just a big fuss.
Recording of the concert, Toby Keith American Icon airs tonight. That's on NBC. Here's the next clip. After Baywatch, Moment in the Sun is an exploration of the cultural phenomenon that defined an era. It is co-produced by Nicole Eggert, and here, Alexandra Paul, a.k.a. Lieutenant Stephanie Holden, talks about being approached by her former castmate.
She assured me that it wouldn't be a hit piece, which made me very happy because it's hard to trust people when they interview you, whether they're going to slant your comments to negative or positive with a show like Baywatch. Then I met Matt Felker, the director, who is a real fan of the show, so I knew that it would be a documentary that would tell the truth, but wouldn't be unfair.
Up, huh?
After Baywatch, Moment in the Sun streams today, and you can only find that on Hulu, by the way.
I'm going to have to watch that.
Yep, and there you go, your entertainment report for you this morning. All right, we're going to take a quick break, come back in a second, let the sun continue to rise on what is going to be a very steamy day, dear friends, so stay put. Be back in a moment. I'll tell you about the things we have to give away and stuff to do.
The year of the movie was 1991.
Year was 1991.
Okay.
And Tony Shalhoub had just completed production of a major motion picture.
All right, above Michael Lerner is Judy Davis.
Judy Davis.
I don't know who that is.
A great actress, and she played many biographies. She also played Judy Garland.
Okay.
All right, next one up. Second down is John Goodman.
Ooh.
Wow.
King Ralph?
No.
No.
Not a comedy. How about that?
Oh,
Comedy.
The Babe.
No.
The Bitch.
No, that was Joan Collins. Looks a lot like
How's our
John
text-
Goodman these days.
How's our text board? Did they? Any
I'm not
guesses?
checking.
I'm not
wanna see.
looking.
All right, go ahead. One more.
All right.
The main star.
So John Goodman,
Tony Shalhoub. John Mahoney.
and it was not a comedy.
It was not a comedy. All right, so it's something very powerful, would we say? Is it DC Cab?
I've only heard of this movie. I've never seen it.
All right. So you only have one name left.
I have one name left.
Probably Citizen Kane then.
And it's the title character.
Okay.
I almost said the name of the movie.
Yeah.
John Turturro.
Oh, Barton Fink.
Yeah!
There you go.
Son of a bitch.
Never heard of it.
Coen Brothers.
Never even heard of that movie.
It's very trippy.
Well, now
That's
you can watch it,
obscure.
Preston.
Yeah, right?
In beautiful VHS.
Well, we just
Someone get a
player.
VHS player and put an address on it. Send it to us.
Yeah.
Undefeated Records. Eric, good morning.
Hey, you guys rock. Uma Thurman needs the word.
Yeah.
Everybody's heard about the bird. Wow.
Case, how did you just do that? Do that
They're
again.
all right next to each other.
Do it again.
Everybody's heard about the bird.
Nice work. All right, Eric, what's up, man? Tell us about your perfect record.
When I was in the military, we went down to Haiti in like 96 around then for deployment. From the time we got on the Eisenhower to go down, which was like mid-September, we were down there about 5-6 months. For 3.5 months, me and my best friend were undefeated in the card game Spades.
How do you play spades?
Do you know how to play hearts?
A little bit.
It's basically hearts, but with spades.
Hey, now, Spades is a partner game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's usually played 4 people, 2 to a team.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a Stephen King book called Hearts in Atlantis. You need to read that. There's a whole
that?
segment about the game of hearts that I think you'll dig, man.
Yeah, I played.
Okay, cool.
Thanks, Eric. We'll
I
see
played
ya.
hearts and pinochle, and so spades is kind of like a combination
Right.
of those two. I got to tell you, when it comes to spades, there was a giant bone of contention between my circle of high school friends. There's a scene in Boys in the Hood where I think Ice Cube says, "Yo, y'all want to bust some spades?" And my friend, and still to this day, thinks he says spags. And I'm like, spags isn't a thing. It's not a game.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I just needed your
Peanut butter.
This just in. Clarification on dialogue that appeared in the movie Boys in the Hood so many years ago. There's no such thing as spags. We knew it as Jimmy Leshevsky at the Pentagon. Jim, how about this whole Boys in the Hood conundrum? I was confused by it, honestly. I thought he said spags. But I thought to myself, there is no such thing as that, right? Thanks, Jim. Thanks always. Very insightful commentary.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go to Tyler. Has a record. Hey, Tyler. Good morning.
Good morning. Gadzooks.
Gadzooks, buddy. All right, so we're talking about people having a perfect record. What about you?
All right. I got a perfect record for getting stoned every single day and going to school and getting straight A's.
Wow. Straight A's. You got a. So you're an exemplary student, though you were stoned absolutely every. Now, would that be Monday through Friday, just school days, or were you?
No, every day.
Every day.
Wow. And you got straight A's.
Straight A's. I'm like a teacher's pet. Like the teacher has to say, Tyler, like we know you know the answer. Just stop raising your hand at this point.
Were you the teacher's supplier?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't sell drugs.
Okay, good.
All right.
So you're like the champion of drug addicts.
Sure.
Yeah.
For getting good grades.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now that's it's a little bit of a contorted title, but it is a title.
That's it. Listen, yeah,
it's
absolutely.
undefeated.
I'll take anything that you want to tell us about.
What
Thanks,
are you
man.
the champion of then at that point?
Of beating the odds, I guess.
Yes,
right?
of course. Yeah.
I don't know.
He didn't have to smoke resin one time. He always, right?
What's that? I'm not understanding.
When you run out of weed, you get like a paper clip or whatever, and you scrape out all the resin in your apparatus, and you
Casey,
smoke that.
I used to be called Captain Blackfingers.
Captain Black. Look at you, Cheech and Chong over here.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
If you don't actually have the leafy substance.
Captain Blackfingers.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, a lot of people still want to watch reruns of The Cosby Show on television. In a Twitter announcement yesterday, Bounce TV said, "You asked and we heard you loud and clear, bouncers. We're bringing back The Cosby Show by popular demand."
I don't know if I have Bounce.
No, and you know what? Well, I don't know either, but Seventh Heaven is playing in syndication. We were talking about that last week.
Yeah, you figured how would you do that?
Yeah, but if people want to see it.
Stephen Collins was admitted to sexual contact with a 10-year-old girl.
Yeah.
To me, I would find it difficult to believe him as a preacher in that show.
Yeah.
And Cosby is the ultimate dad at this point, I think, is not workable.
Well, it's old, and people might have they might look past that and just look at the characters as opposed to the people actually playing them.
You think so? I should revisit the Charles Manson sitcom.
What was that? I don't remember. Was that back in
I'm
Oh, it was like a family sitcom, or
Squeaky, I hear you got a bad grade today. Why didn't you go out and kill a white pig?
I'm home. Look, that's
just
the
with
opening.
a crazy look on his face in the door. I'm home.
That's the opening shot. Oh God!
And they're at the Spawn movie ranch there.
Oh my God!
Wait a second. This isn't my knife. It's a melon baller. The voice in my head says we're going out for ice cream.
And then there's the episode where he carved the swastikas in their forehead. Oh,
I don't like it.
Yeah.
You never like anything. I think it makes me look Nazi-ish. I just think it's going to be an issue when you apply for jobs. I'm much to my own drummer, woman. Now go kill someone.
All right.
Leave as little circumstantial evidence as possible. Who's laughing? You can laugh track. What the hell? Can't you hear that? Who are you?
All right.
That's on Bounce as well. That's the lead-in.
The show was
It's Manson and Cosby for the Power Hour.
The show was syndicated in 1988, and various networks showed reruns up until 2014 when TV Land, Bounce TV, and BET all stopped airing the show due to the sexual assault allegations.
Cosby and Manson doing press together for the.
Oh my God! At a conference. There were a couple pieces of audio you wanted me to play, Steve.
Oh yeah. Yoko. I think she posted this on her Facebook account, Yoko Ono. She had an auditory reaction to President-elect Donald Trump.
Oh wait, is this
okay? It's real.
Is it words or is it?
You tell me.
It's an auditory reaction.
Tell me. In classic Yoko fashion, and this was a message to her followers, and I guess to her followers, this means something.
Okay, here we go. I haven't heard this yet.
Okay. You know what that sounds like? You know when you have a balloon, and you let the air out, but you put it in your mouth and you go, ow, wow,
Marissa,
wow, wow, wow.
can we find a balloon, please?
Do you know what it also sounds like?
No, I mean an actual balloon around here.
I got it.
Casey's got it. We need a real balloon.
A real man's balloon. We got
those
condoms.
are gigantic. Look at this.
All right, well, go ahead, blow it
It's
up.
a weather balloon,
It's
for
a
Christ's sake.
douchebag is what it is.
Either we have a tiny balloon or a Zeppelin.
It's a hot water bottle.
The hell is
this
that?
Won't work.
It might.
All right, try it.
He's going to pass out trying to blow it up.
And you know what? Preston is actually really good at just picking up wind instruments, so you might be able to actually recreate this.
He might be a virtuoso.
Yeah.
All right, we'll play it for him while he's blowing.
Okay. All right, stop.
Got it.
What the hell's going on?
Trying to lick it.
Stop laughing. This is serious.
Yes, come on. You don't have to get it right up on the mic.
Maybe Yoko is
I can't
talented.
Get it to squeak.
Oh, get out.
Yeah.
All right,
Here we go.
Sounds like a heart.
No, gotta take it back.
I need a different balloon.
Not gonna work.
Go to promotions. Get me. God damn it! Give me a real balloon.
Where's those balloons I requested? Can't come out of a Green Day song into a balloon segment.
You can't come out of Yoko Ono.
Yoko Ono into a balloon segment. Shut that bitch up.
Can you do the exploding Yoko for me, Steve?
Sure. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite bits of all time. Let me know when you're ready.
Hey, we're good to go. That's what she sounds like.
Her voice is hurting my ears.
It's just annoying. And please, the enablers.
Stop putting microphones in front of her face.
I would say the people that supported Hitler and enabled Hitler.
Who does she have around her?
Yeah, they're just as bad.
They're
so talented.
It's not doing the mouth thing. It's not with them.
Who the hell is doing that?
Nick, it was the balloon.
You got to go like this, Preston.
Jesus.
Wait a minute. Are you actually saying woo while you're doing that? No, stop that.
Why? It's added to it.
He asked you a question.
That's not hurting your ears? You would get you'd get a more pleasant sound if you ran over a cat with a lawnmower.
This is terrible.
Okay.
Jesus. Well, that's her take on the whole election.
Who's doing that?
Should we stop?
Yes.
See if you can guess what song this is.
See if you can what?
See if you can guess what song this is.
Okay, all right, here we go. Oh, wait, we may have invented a new game. Here we go. What? That's just rhythm. That has no...
It's a song you should know.
It's
Oh, wait,
honestly-
that was Limelight.
Yes, it was.
Seriously?
It was pulling up. Do it again. You by Romano. They're never going to fix that system.
It is the dumbest system, Kathy. You're literally
Well,
finding
I
out.
just didn't have it pulled up.
Okay, but don't-
sometimes you have to. I have to switch screens, so it's not that it's not there. It's just that I have to. My computer has to switch to the next screen.
Aren't they kind of giving it to you like last minute though? Right?
I get them the day of.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Bastards.
Anyway, quickly, I'm backed up on charts. I'm going to try
Do
to
it.
spread these out a little bit. So let me just do one right now. This was supposed to be done on the 16th. It's from Brittany Bruno. She says, "Hey, love you all so much. Want to request a shout out for my soon-to-be husband, George. I've been, they were getting married on the 16th. I've been listening to you guys forever, and you got me through some rough days. We've had some hiccups, but we're finally tying the knot, and it would be so amazing to hear a shout out for us finally making it. And my grandparents who raised me are no longer with us, but they loved your show too. And I know that they're with us for this special day. So Brittany in Pottstown, here you go. Congratulations.
Tell Brittany we did that, by the way, if you know her.
Thanks for listening. All right, so I saw this Reddit thread I thought was kind of interesting, and there are a whole lot of relationships and issues with relationships that are discussed on Reddit and through all kinds of different platforms. But I saw this when it was a post that asks single women of Reddit, what is the best way to approach you without coming off as creepy?
So it's interesting that you say this because I was reading an article about how the apps are falling out of favor and traditional methods of meeting people are back on the upswing.
Right.
And with that comes this kind of scenario.
Yes.
How do you approach somebody?
How do you approach somebody and just try to come in
through their window?
No, not through their window. Neutrally and on a level playing field.
We're
You know
hyper
what I mean?
aware of things right now.
Yes.
We're still within the halo, if you want to call it that, of Me Too. And so you want to be as respectful as possible, but you also want to make your, entree, your move.
Yeah.
You want to get some.
Yeah, I've been out of the game for so long, I don't even know. Is it still okay to walk up behind a woman, sniff them, and go, you smell good?
If you're going to do it right, though, you have to reach around and grab their breast.
Okay, all right.
I'm going to make you feel so good. Here's
Could you imagine? Could you? It's like the time you picked up the guy from behind the Wawa.
Yes, thought it was a friend of mine. All right, so here you go. Here are some of the suggestions, and ladies, if you want to chime in, feel free.
Please.
But I think that these are more guys. You need to listen to these. All right, so if you are single and you do see someone that you think is interesting and maybe you want to somehow or another have a connection with, here's a suggestion. It says, be friendly, not flirty to start. One good rule of thumb, if you wouldn't be comfortable saying the same thing to a man you've never met before, then don't say it to a woman.
So I think this has been for all of time. You may think you have a good flirty game. The odds are you don't.
Yeah.
So friendly is a better way
Agreed.
to approach.
I think you have to let the woman lead flirtation.
Right.
Or if you don't want to come off as creepy anyhow.
Right.
At least we're talking about you see somebody, you want to open up a conversation,
Yes.
or you're approaching them. I think friendly can lead to that, but don't open with that.
Agreed. Because we're not talking about somebody that you've known for a little while and all of a sudden slowly you start to flirt playfully and so on. This is the first interaction you're having with someone. Don't open with flirty.
Yeah.
Start with friendly.
You want a glass of wine? How do you react to Benadryl?
Oh my God.
Yeah, don't bring up Cosby.
First
interactions, do not.
All right.
And Nick, you like this? What he did was really bad, right?
This one I think this is a great compliment, Kathy. I'm curious as to what you think about it. It says, when giving compliments, focus on things that we have control over versus the things we don't. A compliment on my hairstyle or my makeup or the t-shirt I'm wearing will always be more welcome than a comment on the size or shape of my body.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But I mean, some guys might think of talking about your eyes, your smile, or so on as a compliment someone would want to hear. Somebody might, more so you're not going to say, wow, the ass on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I couldn't help but notice your heaving jugs.
But maybe
Right? That's the wrong
What's
way.
that from Liar Liar? Well, everybody's so nice because you have really big jugs.
Let me ask you this, Kathy, as a nuance of that. And you're very candid with this. If someone were to say, "Oh, you look, oh, that's a nice out, or that's a nice jacket," or
"That's a nice purse,"
is that dancing on the wire?
What do you mean?
Somebody like your approach. Somebody's not talking about your body or your physicality.
What do you mean dancing on the wire?
Like is that pushing the boundaries? Of saying, "Oh, that's a really nice top. That's a really okay."
No,
all right.
I would
because I
almost-
think some guys, I don't know if I would say that to someone. I don't know.
I would almost think like, oh, okay, here we go.
Here we go. Okay.
Yeah.
What happens? I mean, like I would, like the eyes, the lips, the smile. That you're like,
we're rolling.
we're rolling.
Yeah.
But like the shirt or the bag, you're like, okay, all right, he's being nice. Let's
complimenting
let's
my
see
bag.
where he goes next.
He's gay.
No, like let's see where this goes next.
It's safe. He's gay. He noticed these are Jimmy Choo's.
I had a moment. I was not flirting at all, but I was playing golf, and this woman, she rolled up in the she was the beverage cart gal.
Yes.
And beautiful woman, my age or older.
Okay.
And but I had noticed she was wearing little socks that had the Masters logo on it.
Oh, okay.
And I said to her, I go, I love those socks. Those are great. And she was like, oh, thank you. And she's like, that's so sweet that you noticed my socks. And I was like,
see?
She's flirting with me.
Yeah.
And
I put out.
Zero intention. Yeah. And then she said,
by the way, I put out.
For $5 more, not only will I give you this transfusion, but a handy too.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can give me a hot beef injection.
No, but I think after I read this, I was like, oh, that was kind of like that scenario.
Yes.
If you give a nice little compliment to something like that, it may be
the entree,
an entree or an indicator whether someone is not noticed on how they or interested on how they respond to that.
It's the thing that I would always recommend to guys during the our mixers, which is, you know how you talk to human beings. Talk to this woman or this person you like. Strike up a conversation.
Yeah.
Proceed that way. Don't place this big onus on, I've got to do this, and I've got to get this reaction, and I'm going to try this, and here's my game, and I'm a player. I can make this happen. Just relax and be you, and talk to them as someone that kiss you. You want that? That's how Namath did it, and it always worked.
One more time.
I want to kiss you.
But I like the idea of, if you're going to pay a compliment, maybe to something that they have made a choice on, like clothing or hair or makeup or something like that, that because they are, I think they are flattered by, oh, you like my sense of style.
Yeah, right. I would think so, but you read the room, as they say.
Yeah, honestly, I think you avoid compliments entirely. Like the first conversation you ever have with anybody.
Yeah, just have a conversation.
Just have a conversation. I think compliments, there's always that ulterior motive. And so
it's going to feel weird.
Well, it's like, I think, as soon as you pay a compliment, the radar just goes up. It might be well-intentioned, it might be really nice, but if you're actually looking to try to meet somebody and interact with that person, I don't think you go with the compliment.
Nick,
that's just my 2 cents.
Is it safer to lead with an insult?
Yeah.
No.
Hey, jerk off.
Yeah, I'm not saying lead with an insult, but it just says here when giving compliments.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. All right, moving on. Time and place is the biggest one, according to this person. Headphones are a universal symbol of I don't want to be bothered right now. If I'm actively dancing with my friends, yelling in my ear on the dance floor is not the place.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm walking through a desolate park, I will feel alarmed to have a man I don't know approach me. So that's what you don't want to do.
Is it ever appropriate to follow someone home in your car and walk up to the door with them and start a conversation?
Yes. In fact, the next one says they recommend it. No, of course not. Here's another one. These are how you can approach single women without seeming creepy. It says, step 1, make eye contact. If she reciprocates, proceed. If she avoids your eyes or turns away, abort mission.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's picking up on body language.
Yes,
being aware of the
room.
cues.
Read her.
You've got to know the cues. Hang on a second here. I want to go to Cheryl calling in. Hi, Cheryl. Good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. This is a possible, I hate to give this out, but this is a great scam for how a guy can meet a girl.
Okay, it's a scam.
You go into a club, you go into a bar with one or two of your buddies. One of your buddies approaches the girl that you've singled out and is like a jerk. Acts really obnoxiously, comes on really strong. She, of course, rebuffs that, and his wingman that wants to meet her, steps up and apologizes for his friend.
So, Cheryl, you're saying basically do a good cop, bad cop.
Yes. And that happened to my daughter.
What?
And I always wondered if it was, planned or not, but that's kind of how she met him, her husband.
So they're married, they got married and everything.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But you're not sure that's how it happened. You're not sure that was manipulated. You suspect it might have been?
I absolutely suspect it could have been manipulated, but he's a great guy, and it worked, and he's kind of shy, and I could see how that plan would work for him.
Okay, so there's no confirmation on that. I don't know. What the thing I think is to just shear off all the games. Just be real and be you, and manipulations like this that maybe they work or whatever, but I think you're off on a bad footing if you're setting up a false dynamic. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I agree. However, not everyone, like you're very outgoing,
confident.
Not everybody has that. If you're crippling shy,
right?
Something that might work. I'm just putting it out there.
No, I hear you. Yeah.
I mean, along the lines of what Cheryl's saying, and I talked about this with you guys off air one time. I think it's Matthew Stafford's wife. He's a quarterback for the Rams. She, I guess they dated for a hot minute in college, and then they broke up, but she didn't want to break up. So what she did, and this was a calculated move to get him back, she dated the backup quarterback for Georgia
to make him jealous.
And he didn't like that guy apparently, and so it made him jealous, and it worked, and he came back, and now they're married. And
what happened to the dude from Georgia?
Who cares? No, I don't even know.
He drove
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Got used. Maybe he fell in love too.
I love you too.
Yeah.
Do you ever do that thing? If you want to meet a girl, your buddy goes behind her and gets on all fours, and you push her.
You push her. Oh,
yeah,
dude, that's the oldest trick in
They
the
love
book.
that. Oh, that was so cute.
You look like an idiot when you fell.
Here's another one, according to someone answering this particular Reddit thread question, which is ways to approach single women without being creepy. They say, best advice I can give is to be in the right place. Anywhere a woman has to be, bus stop, waiting room, in line, out doing chores like grocery shopping, leave her alone or read the room real quick.
I think that's a solid piece of advice.
Well, again, this is telling you what not to do.
I know, but the issue here is, you can't necessarily, if you're looking for love,
in all the wrong places,
and you're in aisle 5 of the grocery store.
I know.
I may never see you again.
I know. And so they're carpe diem.
Yeah.
Carpe banana.
Yeah, seize the diem.
You got to seize the banana right then and there. No, but I mean, it's that's the way. Like, I may never get this shot again. I need to go over and talk to this person.
And then
Don't
you got to try
find cucumbers very
sensual.
Sensuous.
No, they're sensuous. People are sensual.
Works every time.
No, I think the opening line was, mine's bigger than this.
Yeah. I think that'll. You're right, and I would say no pun intended. There are no hard and fast rules here. I'm guarantee you there are countless stories of people that did seize the moment. And listen, I met my wife at work.
Yeah,
and we, and so. Again, it's the way you do it. Know you,
Kathy.
I think one of the most salient pieces of advice here, Preston, though, is to be you, to not orchestrate, to not put on airs, to not have some gimmick, to not flirt right out of the gate. All that stuff is very wise.
Kath, if you're in the supermarket and a gentleman walks up and he's handsome-ish.
And his pineapple's upside down.
No, and he says something to you like this, like, listen, I'm so sorry to bother you here, but I find you really attractive, and I'd like to take you out for a cup of coffee.
Get away, creep.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. No, I'm not like that at all. I get hit on all the time.
I believe it.
No, I'm kidding. I always welcomed that. Like, even if it's over the top, it's like even the guy, remember the guy that whispered in my ear, what did he, I want you, girl.
Yeah.
I screamed, and then I laughed, and him and I kind of laughed together, and then he scurried away when he realized I laughed at him. But, I will always.
I believe you. I know you, and I think you're very sensitive. You're strong. You're strong-willed, but you're also sensitive to the uncomfortability of a guy going through that. Am I right?
Even like getting whistled at on the street, like none of that ever bothered me.
Right, right.
And it still doesn't. I'll wave, I'll say hi, like whatever it is. But I know people, there's somebody who we all know, and I would never say her name, but like a guy could say hi to her, and she's like,
really?
I'm like, he just said you could say hi back. Like he is not even hitting on you. He just said hello.
He's being common courtesy, civil.
He's being a human.
Yeah.
And that annoys me. So when that immediate we're married, we're not talking to you. Like, no, who cares? Shut up.
I'm curious. I want to hear later on.
Yeah, write it down.
I wrote that, jotted down a note.
And then hold it up to the camera.
No, I don't know who it is. I'm curious who it is. All right, the last bit of advice on this particular article is women are just people. Approach them like people.
Yeah.
Make small talk. If you're at an event, party, bar, talk about that. Don't overthink it. Just start a conversation like you would with anybody. And if that goes well, ask for her number.
People's is people's.
That's right.
Exactly.
People's is people.
That guy was getting so much trim, it was ridiculous.
People's is people's.
I mean, that's essentially what Nick said at the beginning of the conversation. Just talk to them.
Yeah. Exactly. About their panties.
No, Preston, no.
You compliment their panties because it's a choice that they made.
Right.
Or you could say, hey, I noticed that you don't have any panty lines. I like that choice.
Would you be interested in being my regular Saturday night thing?
And then you ask to smell them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Be nice.
You're going to be my regular Saturday night thing, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
God, that Nashville situation was so incredible. Like, I wish there was a camera there to have captured it because I screamed. We were at a bar. And
That's why the guy said, I want you, girl.
I want you, girl.
Yeah.
And it was so loud. And so he had to like get up close to me. But like my scream scared the crap out of him. And he just like jumped back and looked at me. It was so
Nashville is like bridal
well, yeah, it's all
bachelorette
like,
party central, right?
Yeah.
Are there other cities like that, Kathy, where it's worse, like Nashville or Vegas or like a part Miami?
What? That's
bachelorette parties.
No, just like no. I mean, just
for
like
being
the
hit
scene.
like the party scene.
Yeah.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
What about Manhattan?
I mean, that's not
big.
so much like it's not so much like Nashville.
People's is people's.
Nashville is just party central. Like people. I mean, I know there are people that live in Nashville, but
You hear that all over the
My
place.
straw looks like a penis.
Nick, New York City, you can go out to dinner, you can go see a show.
Right,
It's different.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other now that you got that going. New Orleans is the only one I can think of that's just this is party.
Yeah.
That's the reason you go
What
there.
you're here for.
Yeah, I mean, aside from like spring break locations, like South Padre Island.
Yeah.
Carlos and Charlie's.
Oh, man.
Is South
Senor
Padre
Frogs.
still a thing?
I don't know.
Is it still there? I feel like
I'm
it's
49, Kathy. What do you?
That's a good question. Did you guys ever go there?
I did, yeah.
Did you, Case?
Never.
Yeah,
No,
I didn't
didn't.
make there. I did Daytona for spring break one year. And that
You know
was
what I enjoyed?
Crazy.
It's no longer there, or it's no longer in the condition it was when I went there for spring break. Pompeii.
Pompeii. No kidding.
It's amazing.
And then they had this whole thing happen.
I don't know. I never get the mail from them.
Amazing light show.
Marissa says Key West has become a place like that.
I wonder what Bad Monkey's going to do for Key West.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of shots of that city in that show.
Yeah.
Real quick, another call. We got to take a break here shortly. I'm going to go to Jason. Hi, Jason. Good morning.
Good morning. Everybody, the guys at work.
Good morning to see you, Jason. What's going on, bud?
If you want to meet lots of women, I recommend to all young men, get yourself a shepherd. I have a Dutch shepherd, and I can't go anywhere without being surrounded.
You're talking about a guy with the
corral sheep.
robot,
and the crook.
I am 50 years old. I'm a little overweight. I'm married. I usually go places with my wife. My wife goes to the bathroom at a bar or at restaurants, out at public places. She comes back. I'm surrounded with 20-something-year-old women because the dog is like a freaking magnet. It would be the greatest opener. I tell my
It really is a magnet, man.
Or an open.
Yeah, I brought Reggie to Washington
Jason.
Square Mall in Cape May. I didn't realize that you weren't allowed to have dogs there. So he was the only dog on the whole walk. And I mean, I was stopped every 2 seconds for, so yeah, having a dog, it's not a bad attraction.
It's definitely a way to interact with people.
Yes.
It is an icebreaker.
Sure. You have to then follow it up with sensible conversation and so on. But yes, if you definitely want some attention in the first place.
How about a stroller with a fake baby in it?
That's a good way to go, too.
Yeah.
You like my baby?
It's my doll. Taking my doll out for a walk.
I don't know. That might be an untapped market?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually have a very realistic
baby.
Person knows. And I've never used the thing. But that might work.
Yeah.
And then talk about your skin suit that you're making at home.
Dude, you know what? It would be interesting to get people's reactions if you are there with that realistic doll and you are, because at a very short distance, it looks real.
It does.
And somebody might come over and ooh and ah over your baby, and as they get close enough to see that it's not real, what their reaction would
And then
be.
also in this day and age where, people have certain things for security or...
Yes.
Do you make the comment for fear of triggering that person?
Right.
That's a doll. No, it's not. It's like servant.
Servant, yeah. It is not.
It's a real baby.
We need to do a video series of that.
Should try it.
And then your reaction back to them.
It's my real baby. Could you imagine? The person would know what to do.
Oh, my
Because
God.
there's no way you win on that. Best thing is to just not talk to people.
Yeah, probably the best thing. All right. Well, anyhow, I thought these were good, salient points.
Yeah.
About how not to. This is not necessarily how to go about meeting people, but this is how to not to come off as creepy or a bit too. Too desperate.
Yeah, or because I've seen people accidentally not say the wrong thing or not know, and they're not. There's no malevolence to what they're doing. They don't have the skill set.
Yeah,
so
Stop being that.
yes. So Mel Gibson has a good course. How to
the Mel Gibson
course for meeting women,
to talking to ladies, and not coming off as creepy. Yeah, he's got all the lines.
Yeah,
actually, yeah. And
so, what woman wouldn't be intrigued by that?
God, there's so many good ones here. I like this one.
I just listened to that recently, by the way. I was sampling. So I have sampled. I have an AI version of Mel like that, but it doesn't read like him. It reads like it's a regular phone sounding guy.
Yep.
Because you can't. No computer can replicate what.
Give me that one again.
Okay. It's the best.
All right. Anyhow, I think we should take a break and come back in a moment. We're going to go live on Fox. Oops. Hold on. I tried to say Fox Good
But
Day.
I would appear on that network too.
Yeah. It came out with a U instead of an O. Had to dump out on that. Apologies.
How dare you?
We are going to take a break. A reminder that this week the Back to School A to Z starts, and we got a little bit of information right here to tell you about it. So stick around.
Preston and Steve.
Can you do Crash Into Me?
That's hard. I can try. Let me get it for you.
Here, wait, hold on.
Steve's gonna do it.
No, I can't.
Oh, you're just blowing up a balloon for
I
fun.
just like to blow up balloons. I really, if you're having a prom or something coming up, give me a call.
Is this the dumbest thing we've ever done?
It's in there. It's in there.
Do we want to stay on sugary?
I need savory now.
Savory, okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll move on to savory. Let's see. Shake Shack is adding more chicken to its menu.
Okay.
It's just in.
Dude.
The Shake Shack adding more chicken to its menu. And landslide in Peru kills 100,000.
Hey, by the way.
We go down to Jimmy Kushevsky, who's at Shake Shack.
Are you leading with that?
By the way, speaking of landslides, they saved the 3 cows.
They did?
Yes, that were up on that.
How'd they get them down?
I don't know. I didn't read the full
They
story.
raised New Zealand.
Nick had it up earlier, but it was that New Zealand earthquake that caused a landslide, and there were 3 cows up on top of that little plateau.
Cows were terrified. They were full of milkshakes. Boom!
He was laughing at himself. He couldn't even get it out.
Wow. That's a horrible joke.
That's so good. They were filled full of
milkshakes. Cows had milkshakes in them.
Because they were so scared. They were shaking.
I thought it was because the ground shook.
No. Hey, that's too. Wait, that's a good one.
It was an earthquake.
It was an earthquake, so they were full of milkshakes.
Got it.
All right. Anyway, I don't know how they did it, Kathy. We'll fall into that later on. So anyway,
They shot him.
Back to shaking.
He shot him and threw him off.
They had a helicopter with a machine gun
Look
on
at
it.
him.
They're saved.
The Ride of the Valkyries.
We have the cows inside.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how they
God, there's so much of a story here.
went about it.
We have our cows inside.
All right. Anyhow, moving on. Back to the Shake Shack and the chicken.
Yeah.
We were speaking earlier this morning in our entertainment roundup about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson being the sexiest man alive.
Yeah, I sometimes don't support those decisions, but I have to agree with this one.
You agree with this one?
Yeah, on a guy level to a guy, I would say that because he's a cool guy. He seems like a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
He seems like a guy who would hold you down.
Yes.
And take you.
Yeah.
And take you and make you realize things about yourself. That's what he seems like to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some I have not agreed with. Richard Gere, you would agree with, right?
Oh yeah, I loved Richard Gere.
Yeah, it's interesting what floats their particular boat every year.
They usually pick somebody who's
Yeah.
got something going on too, as far as being in the public eye in a big project, and they're successful as well.
In 1992, Nick Nolte won it.
No way.
Yeah.
All right, what did that picture look like, though?
I don't feel so good. In '92, it would have been fine. It would have been the time, I guess, around maybe the Prince of Tides.
Yeah, I mean, he's 51 at the time.
Yeah.
In '89, Sean Connery won it at age 59.
I have to poop.
There's a few other.
I have to poop now. So take your damn picture.
Take it now.
Take your picture now. I have to poop. He, I guess they were trying to show that an older guy could be.
Yeah, that was right when Last Crusade came out. And then Richard Gere won again in 99 at the age of 50, and Harrison Ford won in 98.
There you go.
At 56.
I'm thinking about that.
It was one of the more poop. Take your picture. Got to poop.
Long story short, I'm a murderer. My son is really into fish and fish tanks, so we bought one. I got one for his birthday, which was back in September, and it took me a while to get it up and running. It's the first time I've ever
remember you
owned
mentioning
a
this. Yeah.
Fish tanks
Yeah.
seem like a great idea.
They
at
do.
the time.
And I'm actually overall really happy with the purchase.
Right,
I have a friend named Cheryl who's been really helpful in guiding me through some of this stuff because I didn't know what I was doing.
Are there a lot of fish?
Initially, there were 4.
Okay.
Initially.
Well, Superman, macro, ice cream, and a 4th one.
R.I.P.
No.
How big of a tank, by the way? How many gallons?
Like 29 gallons. So I went away this past weekend. I went up to North Central PA and came back, and Superman, who was the biggest of the fish, was dead.
Yep.
So, it sucked because I knew that I was going to have to make a decision. And that decision was, do I tell my son whether or not this fish has died?
Right.
And
Is he super connected to it? Does he?
Well, it's his. I don't know. It's his fish tank. It's in his room. He picked out all the fish to go into the tank. So he's been very active in the decision making process. He named all of them.
I would get attached to my fish. Like I would be sad when they would die.
Yeah, and they don't really have a ton of personality, but they have some, and then you sort of figure out which ones stayed at the bottom and which ones come to the top.
Which ones never move.
Which ones never move.
And
Which
just
ones
sit there on the bottom.
Which ones hide behind the little hut at the bottom of the thing.
Which ones decompose.
Which ones decompose. Which ones eat other ones.
Yeah.
So I took Superman out with the little net and put him in the toilet and flushed him down, and he went to fish heaven.
Yeah.
So this was over the weekend. It's now.
Where's that coming from? It's so damn loud. There we go. Okay. Go ahead.
So it's now Wednesday, and I have yet to tell my son. And so I don't know. Here's the quandary. Do I inform my son of what has happened with the fish and teach him the lessons of life and that death is a part of life and that we move on? Or do I just go out and get a replacement fish and pretend like it never happened?
I tell you what is an easy swap out is a turtle.
Yeah.
Those little turtles.
There's a great storyline in the movie My Blue Heaven. Joan Cusack accidentally knocks a turtle into the garbage disposal.
Well, speaking of the garbage disposal, about 2 years ago, actually it was a Christmas present. Santa brought Jace a betta fish, a pretty red betta fish. And I was cleaning out the nice vase that the betta fish lived in, and I put it in like a little cup, and that damn thing jumped out of the cup. I guess I filled it up too high and went into the sink, and Jace is sitting there. I remember he was eating lunch and he was sitting watching the whole thing, and I was like, "Oh, the fish!" And I was like, "Don't move, don't jump, don't flap anywhere," because he was in the sink.
Yes.
So I tried to cover him with my hand so he wouldn't go down the drain. Well, he did, and I freaked out, and I was like, "He's down there, he's still alive. What do I do? What do I do?" So, great idea. I turned the garbage disposal on.
Oh my God!
What am I gonna do?
What are you?
You're a
Oh my
murderer.
God! My child is trapped in the wood chipper. Turn it on.
Steve, and he is staring at me, watching the whole thing with these big eyes.
What could
I don't
possibly
think he knew.
make you think that?
You can reach down in there
I did.
and
I
get
couldn't
it.
find him. I couldn't.
Oh, you
find
couldn't see him?
No.
Use a flashlight?
No, I couldn't find him. It was like, and it was so fast. Like I was like, oh, I'll just turn the garbage disposal on, and I quick hit
What,
the
like to put it
switch.
out of its misery?
Yeah, because it couldn't breathe.
Listen, at some point,
Can't
if you
breathe.
if you could not find it, because believe it or not, at the bottom of the garbage disposal, there is a ridge that goes, or at least in mine,
Yeah.
and if it got under there and you couldn't get it out, what are you going to let it suffocate?
Yeah. But it's a fish, right?
I know, yeah.
And is there water in that disposal?
No, it's dry down there.
Oh,
unless
okay. Then I misunderstand.
I didn't know what to do. Poor thing watched the whole thing. And
Quick, turn it on.
Quick, kill it! Kill it! Mommy wants you to kill it.
I didn't know what to do.
Jace, we're going to teach you a lesson now. You have to turn the garbage
No,
disposal on.
God, no! Stop it.
Kill it. Come on. Spartan mom.
Is that for Kathy?
Me? Are you kidding? Everyone here is freezing.
You guys all have coats on, don't you?
Yeah.
Look at all the ladies are all putting their coats on.
Has coats on.
I'm cold.
You should put a coat on, Kathy.
I have a coat and a blanket. You should wear a T-shirt if you're going to sweat constantly.
He doesn't sweat, though. His pits have been shut off.
Well, he's hot as hell. Take your jacket off.
Oh, and that's just
I put one on. You take yours off.
She said it. She said it. I knew it.
He's hot as hell.
Hot as hell.
You said it. There's a little.
Oh, no. I slipped.
There's a little struggle with the thermostat here in the studio this morning.
The main struggle is that it doesn't work at all.
Well, that's the problem. Casey
Well,
complains
it's not accurate.
Yeah.
that it's all the way up. It's like it's mental for him. He sees that it's all the way up. Meanwhile, it's still freezing in here. It does nothing to move it, and then he moves it down, and it becomes an icebox.
I think the thermostat was made in another country because cold is spelled cod and heat is hort.
Kathy, there is an official sign on the thermostat.
I know, but Casey, I
look at
can't
it,
take
read
it.
it.
Literally, when you walk in here and it feels like an icebox, that's ridiculous. I'll work with you, but it's an icebox.
It's only an icebox when you're in here.
No, that's not true. Look around. Everyone is bundled up because it's freezing.
She is making a point. They are bundled up.
It's cold.
What if you both made love?
Ew. Hell no.
Would that help?
Stick me in an icebox and let me die there.
Wow. So I'm taking that as a no.
By the way, do you call the refrigerator an icebox?
No.
Okay.
The
Because some people.
refrigerator. I can handle refrigerator temperature. I can't handle icebox temperature.
Wow. Is your friend here? Is your
I want to
monthly friend
curse.
here?
I want to curse so bad. That's how effing cold it is in here.
Is your friend we call your friend Daredevil?
No!
Always.
Not yet!
It's coming, isn't it?
Well, here's a question. I mean, there you have needs. What if in space and long missions, if you're taking care of yourself, what does that look like? Right? I mean, because there seems to be a whole bunch of ports in that thing.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Something's got to fit.
This looks good.
I don't know.
This looks like Lisa Ann.
Somebody's had to have done that, right?
Of course.
To
All
bang
the people-
how in all the years and people up in space, you mean to tell me someone's never run?
Fox, I will do a couple of quick shout outs. Like I told you, I'm running behind. This one is a few days late. It's from Jason Lee. Says, hey, I'd like to get a shout out from my awesome redhead bombshell of a wife, Bailey, for our 11th anniversary. She gave me the gift of coming to the station years ago, and we got to see Kathy celebrate 30 again by dancing with Chuck E. Cheese and eating the butthole picture of her cake. So I want to send her a juicy shout out for our anniversary. If you can do it by Friday the 23rd, that'd be great. If it's after, I'll just let her know it's an early 12th anniversary present.
Yeah, there you go.
Appreciate all you do. That's from Jason. So here is a shout. We got a couple of minutes here left, so let me go into this one. It says, hey, Preston, been a listener since Preston, Maryland, and Steve days, and finally went to my first P&S event, the Who's Luau.
Awesome.
Which was such a great time. I'm the girl who gave you the Duff Beer silver bar. She gave me this little thing, which actually is an ounce of silver.
Wow.
That she gave to me. It was
I didn't get anything.
She deals with precious metals, which is cool. She said, I want to give a shout out to Spaz and Christine with the purple hair who was in the limbo contest. I was at the event alone and very nervous about it, and they let me join them, and we had such a great time. Thank you, Spaz, and his adorably witchy girlfriend. Here's a shout out, and thank you again for that bar. I really appreciate that.
So glad they went to that.
That's from Angie Figa, by the way, is her name. Figga. Figa.
Figa.
That's interesting. Figa.
Go Figa.
Here's what it says. Hey, Preston, I'm hoping a butt plug for a fundraiser and adoption event that we are having this weekend. If there isn't enough time, I understand. Pints for Paws. And by the way, this is from Melinda Shaw, who's the owner and operator of Hangry Bear Creamery.
Oh, love them.
Yep. She says Pints and Paws will be held at Hangry Bear Creamery in Kennett Square. They came by here a little while back and were wonderful.
And I went to that facility. It is awesome.
So September 1st from 1 to 4 p.m., 4 local shelters, Angels Retreat, Comp Animals, Senior Dog Haven, and La Mancha will be on site with furry friends to adopt. And we will have vendors, food, drinks, and music by Diamond Swing Jazz. Hangry Bear is releasing peanut butter cups with all sales going towards the shelters as well. Thank you in advance. And she says, should we recreate that flavor for you?
Yes.
Of course. So,
of course.
This is on September 1st. I'll pass this information along, Nick, to you.
You got it.
If you can enter that and put that on our community page. So a little butt plug. We have 1 minute left or a little less than that. Here's another one. It says, this is from Bill Meekum. He says, hey, I was recently at Ballard's Cafe, a small breakfast and lunch joint near me. I overheard the owner, Mike, talking about the Preston and Steve to the staff. He had really nice things to say about you people in the program, and I told him I started a local yoga business in Hatboro, Jim Rat Yoga, and that I started to visit his place as all of us small businesses need to support one another. Mike told me you guys put one of his Super Bowl soups on your website. He didn't make it into the contest, but a shout out from Mike from Ballard's Cafe if you can.
Hi, Mike.
And this is from Bill, who says, I think your campout needs an early morning yoga class for the volunteers.
You would think that.
And I would be more than happy to lead that practice. Good stretches and warm-ups to assist all the lifting. So thank you, Bill. We do appreciate it. All right, we got about 10 seconds, and we are going to go live on Fox Good Day. That's what the music means. So let's see what's up with these guys.
Hey, Preston and Steve, we found a new survey finds the average person fantasizes about going on some exotic adventure 4 times every day. So if you are when you fantasize a special trip, Preston, where are you going?
Alex's house.
Yeah.
Usually. Yeah.
Oh!
Wow.
Been there, done that.
Of course, yeah. No. Listen, it's either like an exotic trip to me is either going to be island with ocean and all the accompaniments, or beautiful mountain type of scenery. Those are the type of fantasies.
You think about that throughout the day? Yeah.
I mean, not throughout the day, but if I am going to fantasize about something, it'd be that. What about you, Steve?
Yeah.
For me, it would be something more international, like a house of pancakes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I had this conversation yesterday. There's this friend of mine. They're in a fantasy football league, and the loser, if you come in last, you have to sit in a Waffle House for 24 hours, but you can eat your way out. They knock off 30 minutes for every pancake you eat.
I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Idea.
Yeah. I fantasize about that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm thinking about exotic vacations or fantasy locations that many times during the day.
Yeah,
we talked about
We had seen this article, and we were kind of surprised that it was 4 times a day that people dive into that fantasy.
We're told we
really?
think.
I don't think it's surprising at all.
Well,
like when you log on to your computer, they have the beautiful scenery, and I'm always I call them my desktop destinations, and I fantasize like going to wherever pops up that day. That's one.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. If you are scrolling and you're looking at the beautiful people on Instagram.
Yes, okay.
You might go, yeah, that one's for me.
So
yeah.
what's on your radar, Alex? Where do you want to? What location curries your fancy?
Yeah, what are you fantasizing about?
I agree. I would like to be on an island, and I want to do one day one of those where the hut is like over the water, and you're staying like
the
on
Maldives.
top of the,
Yeah, you can pee right in the water. Yeah.
Not Preston's house.
Sure, in Preston's house.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, sure. You know.
Alex, do you know there's a
You two
location?
should travel together.
Yeah.
Alex, do you know there's a location like that in Jamaica where you can stay on a hut over the water?
Yep.
Yes, I'll send it to you.
And St. Lucia, too.
I would imagine that's a little cheaper.
Yeah, it's a little cheaper.
I think it's the sandals.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's actually just a house that got washed away.
I know, right?
In the last hurricane. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Take care, guys. We will see you later. All right, we have bizarre file stories to do. Here we go. Oh.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you this morning by Sequoia Outback. If your patio or deck needs a refresh, then you need to visit the Dexperts at Sequoia. Save during their annual end-of-season sale, which is going on now, Route 309 in Hatfield, or at decksupplies.com. I didn't even have my stories ready. What's wrong with me? All right, we'll start with this one. Dramatic footage shows, and this is messed up, the moment a California man accused of decapitating his parents started singing "What's Love Got to Do with It" while covered in blood on the ground before being shot by police.
God.
It's wild. It's wild footage.
Joseph,
Because, honestly, it's got a beautiful voice.
Joseph Girardi belted out the hit as he lay bleeding out in Orange County as sheriff's deputies shot him several times. The disturbing interaction came moments after cops discovered the headless bodies of his parents, Ronald and Antoinette. Grisly footage showed cops intercepting him in the middle of the road as he charged toward them on foot while babbling incoherently and holding an unidentified object. An officer shouted at him several times to get on the ground, but Girardi didn't listen. The first 3 bullets had little effect on him. He continued approaching them. The 4th one took him down, though he dropped to the ground, blood pouring from his abdomen. Cops shouted at him to roll onto his stomach. Finally, he obeyed. Deputies rushed to render aid, and he continued muttering, saying, "I love you. I'm sorry you're going to have to die." And then he made a plea to the police and said, "Just finish me off." As the cops rushed to cover his wounds, he started belting out love songs. He did not only "What's Love Got to Do with It," but he also started singing "I Just Called to Say I Love You."
It's a beautiful song.
It is a beautiful
Stevie
song
Wonder,
from
right?
Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, he's hitting all the good ones.
Also
he never got around to Rick Astley, though.
Both those songs are from 1984, so that must have been his
a pivotal year.
His time frame. Cops had
he should have come up to them doing this sort of walk.
They had intercepted him after he allegedly attacked a maintenance worker following the murders of his parents, and he threw a heavy shovel at cops moments before the body cam footage begins.
And he decapitated his parents, correct?
Yeah. The shovel can be seen lying on the ground nearby. He was taken to the hospital and stabilized. He was charged with homicide over the deaths of his parents. The motive for the decapitations remains unclear, but a neighbor said he saw him fighting with his father the day before. He described the younger Girardi as he was in his face and looked angry while confronting his father. Another neighbor also claimed Joseph had a drug issue, and that's why he lived there, and they kept him there. So,
Ironically, he was just accepted as a contestant on The Voice.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so got to stuck it out a little bit more.
Yeah, maybe something would have come of that. A Florida woman was arrested for walking around outside naked during a neighbor's birthday party. Grace Ann Sharp, 56 years old, was charged with indecent exposure. The incident happened Sunday. This is messed up. In Pensacola, as her neighbor was having a birthday party. The report stated the neighbor told deputies around 7 p.m. Sharp walked up naked to the chain link fence that separates the properties. She was reportedly waving around plastic doll legs and then rubbed the items on her private areas.
Oh, yeah.
The neighbors
Give myself a foot job. I'm Tom McCanning my cooter.
The neighbors made the kids go inside her home.
I made them extra sloppy for you.
Oh, my God. According to the report,
you're going to want to clean those doll parts.
When the neighbor told Sharp she was naked, Sharp said, I know, it's hot outside. She eventually went back inside her home.
Look at what I got.
When deputies were called and they arrested her.
I'm sure she's a great neighbor.
Wow. All right, this is tragic. 9 men died when a large pile of gravel collapsed on them while they were working in a quarry in Zambia.
Oh, man.
The men were operating illegally in the quarry and were loading gravel onto a truck. The driver of the truck survived with injuries and was taken to the hospital. The collapse happened on Sunday. 8 bodies were recovered before the rescue operation was suspended when night fell. A 9th body was pulled out on Monday. The men in the truck were buried under the gravel. Police have opened an investigation. Zambia has had several fatal accidents involving men operating illegally in quarries or in mines.
So think about that. You see that happen all the time. It can be just regular loose dirt, but once it comes down on you and compacts on you, and they're talking about
a lot of weight.
A lot of weight.
An office work retreat, Nick, and this is, I had you in mind when I pulled this story out. An office work retreat didn't go as planned in Colorado when one of 15 hikers in a group was left to attempt a 14er summit alone, subsequently getting lost and injured to the point of immobilization as a result. The group of coworkers started their push up the 14,231-foot Mount Shavano at sunrise on Friday morning. Utilizing the standard route, some members of the group successfully summited the peak while others ascended to the saddle on the route and returned from there. One hiker, however, was left to complete the final push to the summit alone. Things went wrong, and what happened next might cause some awkward encounters at the office in the coming days and weeks, according to the search and rescue. The lone hiker ultimately summited it about 11:30 a.m. on Friday, but then things started to go downhill. As the hiker began his descent of the peak, he became disoriented with belongings that he had left in the boulder field portion of the route to mark the correct path down, having since been removed by members of the group who had already left the area. They took his markers away.
Why would you do that?
On the way down.
They clearly don't like him.
I guess they
Let's
thought
pull
they were
a fast one.
They were cleaning up. I don't know.
Let's push him off the cliff.
The lone hiker then attempted to make the descent without much guidance, ending up in a steep field of scree on the northeast slopes of the mountain. Nick, what is scree?
Really loose gravel.
Okay.
That's actually what happened to you, right, Nick? The scree gave out on you?
When I had the bad, there's so many. Yeah. But when I had the bad fall and blacked out and have no memory of it, I lost my
So
balance on the
that's
scree.
you slid down on that?
I fell backwards on that, Steve.
Oh, okay.
I hit my head in the creek bed.
The standard
Stuff's dangerous.
The standard route up and down the mountain, however, travels off to the east, southeast part of the peak instead. As the hiker started to worry about his own safety, he sent a pin drop of his location to coworkers who let him know that he was heading in the wrong direction and needed to get back up the upslope to regain the trail.
Hi, guys.
At about 5:30 p.m., the lost hiker sent another message to his group letting him know that he was nearing the trail at the top of the ridge. The situation was complicated shortly after the message was sent, though, when a strong storm that included freezing rain and high winds blew through.
Jeez.
This resulted in the hiker becoming disoriented again, as well as him losing his cellular connection. At about 9 p.m., a report of an overdue hiker was received by search and rescue. They launched into the field with 2 teams and a drone pilot. Unfortunately, bad weather remained an issue, making it unsafe to reach the summit and difficult to pilot the drone.
There was a bear convention going on.
Plus, the hiker was in all black clothing, which can be nearly impossible to spot at any time of the day from a distance, and especially so at night. Crews eventually came out of the field at 9 a.m.
What is he, a goth hiker?
Saturday morning with no clues related to the hiker's whereabouts. A second round of search operations started. A phone call from the subject was received. Information from the call led crews to where he was, and he was located but immobilized, having fallen at least 20 times.
Wow.
While moving around the mountain. The last fall rendered him unable to keep walking, but at that point he also regained his cell service and was able to call for help. They got in there. They had to use a bunch of different extracting techniques to get him out of the field and into an ambulance. But apparently he's okay.
I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, Preston, but it seems like you've had a lot more of these stories this year. And there was that death in the Grand Canyon over the weekend, too. The lady got washed away in a flash flood. Apparently she had local ties. She grew up in Downingtown. She went to Westchester University. And there's just been a lot of those stories in the news this year.
I don't know if they're happening more often or people are reporting them more often. Because
It's also-
the numbers, they're not saying the numbers are staggering or anything like that, but it does remind you that the wilderness is wild.
You're not
It
in
is
charge.
wild.
And you need to You need to have people with you. You need to take the proper precautions.
An article I read about this, Preston, suggested that because of the rising costs of travel and things of that nature, a lot of people said, well, let's go on a hiking. People who are not experienced are now in areas where they shouldn't be.
All right, is this the end of the B-file?
Yeah, that's it.
Well, if you don't mind then, Preston, I'd like to give a plug. I'm doing this National Parks Chat tonight with the National Park system, which is really cool. There's this thing called Park Chat. They do it every week. Tonight it's Wednesday at 9, and all the information's up on PrestonandSteve.com, WMMR.com. But they asked me to be a part of it, which is really cool, and they're looking for questions. So if you have a question for me about the national parks, or if you have a question about the national parks themselves, or safety techniques you should employ, equipment you should bring, you can email me, Nick@WMMR.com, or go to PrestonandSteve.com, and you'll see National Parks Chat. Nick needs help. All the information's there. But tonight at 9 p.m., and it'll be streaming live on Twitter, which should be pretty cool.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Nick.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back in a moment. We will find out a little later on the origins of the Stromboli this morning.
You thought you knew, but you didn't.
It was born here in Philadelphia, and we have one of the creators or relative of the creators to tell us about that. And we'll get you the whole tie-in in a little bit. We'll be back in a second. Stay with us. No, I'm saying somebody's had to have done that, right?
Yeah.
Right.
They're on the space station for a year at a time.
That's actually what caused the Apollo 13 issue.
Right.
It wasn't, the mixture wasn't correct.
No. Oh, my God, we have a problem.
What did you do?
I mean, what about like...
I didn't mix the fuel right.
What about like actual sex?
I don't know. Maybe
there have been men and women up together.
There was a married couple that went up.
A married couple up together. So yes, there would have to be.
That's the first thing you have to do.
Yeah.
Okay,
the 50 Mile High Club. You kidding me?
I mean, if we're talking about serious long-term space travel, it's going to be a part of it, right? So, like, eventually, if we're going to colonize on Mars, that has to be studied.
It's just not talked about.
Kathy,
There's
that
not
would be,
talk about it.
You would the hand you would consider with those huge space gloves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she wouldn't have to worry about it.
All right, okay. This is really big. I can do this.
A bigger hand doesn't make it better.
No, I mean talking about not getting any mess on you. Anyway,
Kathy uses Hulk hands at home.
But in order to do that, because you're in zero gravity and you're floating all over the place, you would.
You'd have to secure yourself.
You'd have to have something to hang on to.
Because they sleep basically.
One would be strapped down. Yeah, they tie you in.
Strapped to the wall.
So they'd figure it out. I'll bet you if there was a married couple up there, it was part of their experiments because they're up there doing experiments all the time.
If they're doing poop and pee and all of these things that they're trying to perfect, they're going to perfect what is a human necessity.
And I have to see video of this.
Various positions, I would imagine, right? To try and figure out which ones are the most...
We are attempting doggy style.
Yep.
Proceed with doggy style. We are having a little bit of issue here. We're going to take this outside the craft.
Odyssey, have you tried the cowgirl yet?
69. Tried the cowgirl yet? 69. In 3, 2, 1. We have achieved 69. Yeah, this is Houston. We got you, and everything's looking good. I would grab her ankles a little tighter in an effort to solidify head position in the appropriate groinal area. And we got that.
All right.
NASA can reduce sex to completely mechanical.
Totally. Sex experiment.
Tell her she's a pretty girl. Tell her she's a very pretty girl.
Please welcome from The Last Witch Hunter, Elijah Wood and Rose Leslie to our program. Good morning, guys. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi there.
Good to see you.
All right, so you're in hyper promo mode for this. You're on tour and doing,
hyper
promo mode because it's coming out.
Yeah, in fact, you guys are leaving.
Initiate hyper promo.
I like that.
Yeah. When did you get into Philly? And you guys are leaving later on this afternoon, correct?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We got in late last night. Well, not that late. No, we kind of landed around about 7.
Yeah, we landed.
Yeah, we didn't land. We definitely
no, the
didn't
train
land.
just
We
sort of
arrived.
arrived to the station. We took a train from New York.
Yeah, there you go. It's what you both got here is the essential point of the
train
whole
landings
thing.
are very sweet.
Well, let's talk about the movie a little bit, and then we're going to geek out on you guys because we're fans of a ton of your work.
Ah, cool.
But The Last Witch Hunter. So Vin Diesel is starring as this main character in this.
Yes.
And there are a lot. Like I said, there are a lot of names. There are you two, and also
Michael Caine?
is in this movie as well.
Yes.
But this is an original story. This is one that we haven't come across before. It's not coming from books or franchise or anything along those lines.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about what the whole plot line of this film is.
Vin Diesel's character, he plays Calder, who is an 800-year-old immortal witch hunter.
Okay.
And he's basically keeping black magic at bay. So black magic is illegal.
Right.
And that would be the scourge for which would be a danger to humanity.
And they're good. You are a good witch. No, not in an
Not
Oz
in the
reference.
Glinda variety.
Yeah, you're not in the Glinda variety, but he is reticent to do so, but you prove an ally to him. And you, Elijah, are an ally because you are. How's it pronounced? It's a Dolan.
A Dolan, yeah.
Right, not as in Mickey Dolan's, but in. But
wait, isn't that? Don't they do deliveries at home?
That's a doula.
That's a doula.
A doula.
Yeah. But you are. There's an order of priests, correct?
Yes, correct.
That provide protection to these. To this immortal character that Vin Diesel is playing.
Indeed, yeah.
Calder.
So basically, Dolans are priests in a long line of priests tasked with serving Calder, the witch hunter, and basically aiding in the background of his effort.
Are you obviously? Preston's been geeking out about Game of Thrones.
Okay.
And I know Elijah, you are a big Game of Thrones fan.
Huge Game of Thrones.
Was that
fan.
a detraction while making The Last Witch Hunter that you were?
That Rose was going to be in the film? Yes, it was.
Totally, right?
It generally was. Yeah.
Yeah, I had read the books, and
I'm such a nerd for it. I flew to Belfast once, and as I was landing at Belfast Airport, I literally was humming the theme song. That's how much of a retard.
Wow. Yeah,
wow.
I'd read
going to the land of Game of Thrones.
Reading the books, I love the character Ygritte in the book, and then they eventually presented you in the show, and I'm like, oh my god, they hit it spot on. She's a badass. You're sexy and at the same time, and where now for your guys' scenes, obviously you're north of the wall. Where was that? Was that in Iceland or?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So we shot in Iceland, and I think for those three seasons that I were in, we were there for like a solid 4 weeks, and it was amazing. I mean, we were shooting in ridiculous temperatures, though, something like minus 18, where we, like, as a crew, we were getting paranoid that the lens would start freezing over, and then we wouldn't be able to shoot. And particularly in the kind of winter months, I mean, we had four hours a day of work, so we kind of like. We worked from 10 till 2, and then we just carried on drinking.
Let me tell you, it's funny because Preston is unsure as to which of you to geek out more on, but Rose, you take the
baton on that one.
Yes, on this
big
one.
time, man.
I was going to geek out about Elijah.
Do it. Go ahead.
No.
I mean, I just the whole series, the Game of Thrones series, has been. Man, you got to wait too damn long.
That's the only problem.
For the next.
I always dread the finale every season.
I do too.
Every season. I'm like, please, I just don't want to watch it because I know that I'm going to have that inevitable feeling of something won't have been tied up, something will be teased, and I have to wait a damn year for it.
Well, you look at something as Herculean as the Lord of the Rings trilogy, but every Christmas season, it was a new one was coming out.
Yes.
Let's get it together, folks. This may be just wiki BS, and I didn't realize this as I was looking. But Elijah, were you in the Forever Your Girl Paul Abdul video?
Yeah, that was the first job I had as an actor.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's wild. See, that ruined me for all other videos because I can't.
Where is I want to see
it's on YouTube like everything else.
And you can tell it's you.
Yeah.
That's a good song, man.
All right.
It was directed by David Fincher before he started making movies.
Yep.
There it is.
David Fincher directed
Oh, wow. Look at that. You can just pull it up on the television.
Oh, we're pulling up a video. I don't know at what point in the video he.
Where's Elijah?
He was a girl.
There he is.
Oh, you played a cute little girl with pigtails.
That's not me.
Someone was also texting it, and that you were in Back to the Future 2.
Correct. Well. Yeah, that was the first job out in a film.
A film, yeah.
That's me.
Wow.
Well, I know
Look, there he is.
That's me. Yeah.
Did you just break a pencil?
I did. I was, yeah.
Wait. Stressed out.
What are you feeling?
It's the stress of daycare, correct?
Just so stressed. Look, he's yearning for his lost love. Yeah.
By the way, Steve, last time Elijah was here so long ago, we were both 200 pounds heavier.
You guys were fat and I was skinny.
Casey was skinny and we were fat.
And I was sick that day. I was so mad. I wasn't here when Elijah was in, and we've had 3 out of the 4 Hobbits in studio, and I missed Elijah's
Who else
day.
have you had?
We've had Sean Astin a couple of times, and oh man,
Billy,
not Dominic Monaghan, but yeah, the
Billy
guy.
Boyd.
Billy Boyd. Yeah.
Billy Boyd. Yeah, his band performed in here.
Amazing.
Yes.
That's so cool.
And he's Scottish.
He is.
Oh my God.
I think he was from Glasgow.
He's from Glasgow.
Yeah, he's from Glasgow.
That's right.
Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Let's hear it for him, guys.
Yeah.
Excellent. We'll take a break. Back in a moment. Stay there. It's a hidden camera left in a forest to take pictures of animals in the wild. Captured pictures of a naked man who believed that he was a tiger after taking LSD.
I'm a tiger. Look at this. Grow.
The man only identified
I'm
as
a wild tiger.
The man only identified as Merrick from the Czech Republic took the drug to try and treat his depression.
I'm Merrick the tiger. Growl.
But after taking LSD, he then ran off into the Polish forest, stripped naked, and started behaving like a tiger.
I must leave you now and return to the world of tigers.
Later, foresters look back
But
at
I hope my message of peace lives on.
They looked back at the footage to try and see if they had captured any wild animals on camera, but after watching footage of the man...
Oh, this is a straight up the ass shot this camera got.
Oh, yeah, he's totally naked.
Yeah.
He handed...
That's the brown eye of the tiger.
Yeah.
It's the brown eye of the tiger. It's the thrill of the fight. They handed the picture straight over to the police, who later apprehended Merrick. The 21-year-old then confessed to police that he had taken LSD.
I'm a tiger. I'm a tiger. I'm a tiger. Running around. Tiger round. I'm a tiger. I am high.
He told then the he said it started to work immediately and that he felt he had become a Siberian tiger.
Wow, that's a cool one to go for.
He told police that it was then that his true personality had woken up and that he had always connected with the animal.
Amazing.
He added that while being high on the drug, he picked up a scent and felt compelled to follow it. In 8 hours, he is believed to have traveled 15 and a half miles along the Czech-Polish border.
Not bad.
He's hauling ass.
Yeah.
But because the man did not have any drugs with him, he was only fined and will not face any further charges. So,
I mean, come on.
Yeah, this picture.
Pull it
yeah. All right, I did notice something else. I noticed.
More to be noticed.
I noticed this handwritten piece of paper.
He noticed a handwritten piece of paper.
This is the audio of Kathy from earlier this morning. Did she say bitted or not? She was talking about a woman that bit someone's finger.
All right.
Casey and I thought we heard bitted.
I might have heard bitted as well.
And she says it wasn't, but and texters have gone either way on this too.
Okay.
So it's nope.
Let's see.
She heard bit, and yes, I heard bit.
Well, I tell you what, if Kathy's right, passes to the movie on Wednesday night.
Okay, to who?
To Rogue One, to Kathy.
No, I mean to give to Kathy. Okay, sure.
There's a possibility that there's a possibility that she said bit it, but I think she said bitted it.
Oh,
then I'm going to go with bit it.
I'm going with bitted it.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Remember, there was also another woman who bit a woman's finger off.
Bitted a woman's finger off. You heard it.
Wait, play it again.
All right, here we go. Like I said, I'm trying to catch up on these shout-outs and butt pluggies. This one actually was a shipment that was sent to us, and I want to thank Ryan Ball because he's the one that sent us over all those seasonings.
Oh, wow, there's a ton of them.
Can you grab me one of them, Casey? I want to give the name to it. But apparently he is with Petter's Village and the Pepper Palace.
Pepper Palace.
He says, we have every sauce that you need. And he wrote us a lengthy summary on the things that were sent and why he sent them to us. But yeah, these are all Pepper Palace. He brought like sweet bourbon rub and all these different things for your, here's a Gulf Bharat Middle Eastern seasoning. There's, this one sounded good, the pepper garlic seasoning. Yeah. Anyhow, he said, we have every sauce you need. Hope you all enjoy. Thanks for all you do. You guys are the best show on the radio. They did it, yeah. So that's from Ryan Ball. And he gives us a reason why he sent each one of us a specific seasoning. But it's a lengthy story, so I'm not going to have time to go into it.
No problem, but there's a lot. And I also grabbed up Zesty Italian.
Yes.
But the stuff is really good.
Thank you, Ryan, at the Pepper Palace in Peddler's Village. We appreciate that. Here's a shout-out. It says, good morning at Presbo. Can you give me a shout-out for the Preston and Steve show today? It is my 34th birthday. My parents, Tony and Alexa, and I are picking up my brother, Austin, and my future sister-in-law, Kelsey, from their new apartment in Bordentown, New Jersey. All of us are going to have dinner at Shady Maples Smorgasbord in East Earl, PA, and we're staying in Lancaster for the night. So thank you, and here's a shout-out to you guys. So,
imagine if your name is Alexa in this day and age.
I know. I was thinking the same thing as soon as I said that.
Anybody else been to that smorgasbord?
Yes.
Not.
Oh, my God. Shady Maples, the bomb.
Really?
It's so good, yeah.
One of the best breakfasts I've ever had.
Do not go if you've eaten anything within the last 48 hours.
Oh, you know what? And I was trying to remember because he'd mentioned Lancaster in there, and I saw a really cool clip of somebody who I didn't know was from Lancaster. And I think, is it Jonathan Goff, the the Broadway actor?
Yep.
And he's been in TV shows and is the voice of, I think, Kristoff in Frozen. But he plays the king in Hamilton. Him giving his speech for winning a Tony.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's wonderful. And he mentions Lancaster a few times.
Does he?
I did not know he was from that area.
Yeah,
How about that?
I did. Where did he go?
He's
to high
probably
school?
had the smorgasbord.
Incredibly talented individual. Where did he what?
Where did he end up going to high school out there?
Nick is looking up his early education as we speak on Wikipedia. But at Conestoga Valley High School.
Yeah, which is different than Conestoga High School.
I'm so sorry. My roommate went to Conestoga Valley.
And he went to Carnegie Mellon University. So,
nice.
Yeah, but anyhow, seeing Lancaster made me think of that. Sorry about that. Then one last thing here is a butt plug I'm going to mention. And this is from Christian Yuva, who writes, my brother, Stephen Yuva, has been dealing with medical issues for the last couple of years due to his autoimmune disease. He was diagnosed with since he was 15 years old. Medical issues have gotten to the point where he needs a liver transplant. He's scheduled for it next month in September. My brother is now 31 years old, married and a father of 3. He's been in and out of the hospital. He's medical issues. He is continued to be an outstanding husband and father by being there for his family. Regardless of the circumstances and pain, he's continued to provide for his family. His recovery is already going to be a long and difficult process, hence why I'm reaching out to you today. So there's an event coming up for him. It's Stephen Yuva Liver Transplant Fundraiser, and it is a basket bingo that is good, not till September 21st. I think I sent the information to you, Nick.
Yep, they emailed me as well.
All right, perfect. And this is all online?
Oh, yeah, it's a GoFundMe page.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they're raising money for him, and they have basket prizes, raffle baskets, 50-50, snacks and drinks, it says, available to purchase. So I don't know if what they sent me was an event, but it doesn't give any location.
It comes through your computer.
You can go to the community page of WMMR.com, and you can help participate and maybe help out Stephen and his big time recovery that's going ahead.
I think the transplant is scheduled for this month, so that's why they want to do that this month. So yeah, the GoFundMe is right up on the community page of the website.
And Kathy, you can get some snacks. All right, so I wanted to mention that. That's our butt plug.
promised snacks.
All right, and then at the beginning, we played Bon Jovi there, Living on a Prayer. One of the great sing-along songs.
Yes.
Put that on in a bar with enough drunk people, everybody sing the song. And then it can get stuck in your head and hang around forever, and you listen to it all damn day long, and unwittingly, it just keeps repeating in your ear, in your mind. It's known as an earworm. We all know this, right?
Oh, God, they deal with them all the time.
Yep, and I get stuck on weird things every now and then, and they're just there, and they repeat, and you are just, you're a slave to it.
I will literally say F you to somebody if they sing a song. And then next thing I know, I start singing. I'm like, oh man, F you. That's going to be with me all day long now.
It's almost like a social disease.
There may be a cure. There is something called the earworm eraser. And it was developed by music psychologist Dr. Kelly Jakubowski at Durham University. And she claims that it is able to scrub any earworm from your brain in just seconds.
So
we need one.
We're going to have to put this to the test.
We're going to play it.
Yeah, and play an earworm-inducing song.
Okay.
And
we did play Living on a Prayer. Just a moment ago.
Does anyone have that in their head?
I actually have song 2 in my head right now, believe it or not.
So the thing about the earworm is you can't just, it's got to get in there and it's got to get stuck. It's got to be on a loop. And they explain a little bit later in this article as to why that may happen. You want me to share that?
Yeah, please, because it just seems to happen, no rhyme or reason.
All right, so surveys estimate that 90% of the population experiences an earworm at least once a week, while a quarter of us are blighted by repetitive tunes several times a day. Recent studies have shown that listening to catchy tunes like Shake It Off by Taylor Swift or Call Me Maybe by Carly Rae Jepsen.
That's another one.
Could lead to worse quality sleep. A survey of 3,000 people, this was conducted in 2016, mind you.
Okay.
Found that some of the most common earworms include Bad Romance from Lady Gaga, Don't Stop Believing by Journey, and Kylie Minogue's Can't Get You Out of My Head. In this 2016 study, the doctor also found that the faster tempo and rise and fall melody of pop music tended to result in tunes which were more likely to stick in the mind. Repetition of the song is also a key factor in determining whether a song becomes an earworm. This might go some way to explain why advertising jingles and the most popular songs of the day tend to get lodged in our brains. Due to this, some have suggested that television and social media might be behind a rise in earworm prevalence. However, earworms date back to before the advent of recorded music and were even referenced in Mark Twain's short story, A Literary Nightmare, in 1876.
Wow, so he must have heard it on TV.
Yeah. Scientists aren't entirely sure why we get earworms or what causes them, but they appear to be a form of mental imagery. In the same way that you conjure up the image of a place or recall a particular strong smell, your mind is also capable of mentally recreating a song. But the difference between an earworm and these other forms of mental imagery is that earworms are involuntary. One theory suggests that earworms tend to push into our awareness because of how much music is represented in the mind. And they give an example. If we want to imagine the tune of Happy Birthday, you can't just imagine it all at once. You have to start from the first note and mentally play it all the way
It's
through.
true. You never join Happy Birthday halfway into the song.
Yeah.
You start from the beginning.
This could mean that the moment the song is prompted to our imagination, it starts to play itself through over and over again. It is this loop, which Earworm Eraser, which we're going to play for you here, claims to disrupt with its garbled mix of rhythms and genres. So according to this, what this is, it is a 42-second audio that features a jumbled mess of musical styles designed to delete the song from the listener's mind, all accompanied by a bizarre animation, which I haven't seen the animation. I haven't even heard this yet. I haven't listened to it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
The animation's very, very cartoony.
Okay.
Very bizarre.
So, do you want to hear it?
Yes.
Okay.
And you say you're currently in the throes of a Bon Jovi earworm?
We're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Take my hand.
Taking my
sweat. All right, so that's there. All
right.
Now let's listen to this. Here we go.
Seahorses forever.
Okay.
It's doing a bunch of different
genres.
I think it could. I think I could see where it might work.
Yeah.
It is basically like white noise.
Though I now have a new song stuck in my head.
Is it that?
Is it The Simpsons?
Blue shadows on the trail. Because that's what that was a little clip of. It sounded like anyway. And then I did hear The Simpsons. The Simpsons. I don't know that would work. Maybe
I think you truly need to have it stuck in your head, though. Like, I think
And
we're
then go do
forcing
this?
it right now, to see if it would actually work.
I wonder if someone is listening who is dealing with an earworm and that helped eradicate it.
All right, well, let's go to a guy named Rocky who's on the line. Hi, Rocky. Good morning. Okay. What's up, bud?
Baby Shark.
Baby Shark.
Okay.
Is that stuck in your head?
The song is so annoying, but once you hear it, you can't get it out of your head.
Yeah, true. It's made to be that way. Absolutely. And so, do you have it stuck in your head currently?
Yes, because I watched, there's a TV show series that has it. It's on Netflix. I can't think of the name on top of my head. Not the Umbrella Academy.
It's okay. Anyway, did you hear the song we just played, the earworm eraser?
And there it was, stuck in my head.
And still stuck in your head? It's a bunch of crap.
Bunch of hooey.
All right, thanks, Rocky. Appreciate it. But yeah, Baby Shark is bad.
It's one of the worst.
It's bad.
One of the worst.
When you do get that there, it's a bad thing.
You know, I had bizarrely in my mind is that Ariana Grande. This is the one where I.
This is the part where they say I don't wanna before.
Yeah.
This is.
Yes,
that one.
That's another one, and it's typical of a super poppy song. That's what they're made to do.
Would you say you're cursed by it if it's in your head? Like Casey you get angry.
Can be.
Yeah,
depends on what song it is.
Yeah, like Baby Shark, you don't want to have in your head all day long.
Well, yeah. Then you're like, God, why do I keep
son of a
singing
bitch?
that? Yesterday, mine was, oh my good Lord, the
Shabuzi?
Give me Give me a shot of whiskey. Yeah.
Yeah.
The bar song.
Yeah.
I don't know Shabuzi.
You don't know Shabuzi?
Oh, dude. Come on. Look who you're talking to.
You do.
Is it new?
It's like a few months old.
Yeah.
That's new.
Give me some
It's
Shabuzi.
like a summer song.
Marissa, can you send some Shabuzi over? Yeah.
Shabuzi.
There was one time when I was playing golf, and every time I would approach the ball, a song would repeat in my head. It's not a poppy, fun tune. It was Liar from the Rollins Band.
What?
Henry Rollins.
What part of the
I
song?
couldn't shake it. I don't know why I feel the need to lie and cause you so much pain. Maybe it's something. Maybe it's something inside. Maybe it's something I can't explain. I don't know why.
That's a little scary.
There's no rhyme or reason.
No, it just got in there and it wouldn't go away. Couldn't shake it. Here's a text from somebody says the Cardigan song, Love Me, say, love me, say that you love me, fool me, go on and fool me. This person said they had it in their head for 2 weeks.
You know it stuck with me for a little bit.
What?
Shake It Off.
Yeah. Yes, that's a super, super catchy. The one for a stretch, now you're talking about like overplayed top 40 songs.
Yes.
Like
And they
when
just beat it in your skull.
When Happy from Pharrell was the song. That was another one that
my
was like,
God.
you just couldn't escape it. And from, yeah, there you go.
If you feel like a room without roof,
Steve, that might be.
That could wipe it
an
out.
earworm eraser. And then another one for a while was, Andre 3000.
All right.
Shaking like a Polaroid picture.
I hated that one.
You hated that song?
I hated
kind of found that
song.
catchy.
You hate it?
Yes.
Like didn't like it, genuinely didn't
Yes.
like it.
Oh,
See, I hated it because of how it would get stuck in my head.
No, I know.
But I still think it's a great song.
Ever.
I think you love this because it's got a very, very unique drum beat to it.
Part of it, definitely. All right, let's see. Hang on. Dan says here.
Jimmy.
I got it.
Jimmy. Sometimes those get stuck in my head.
All the time.
Jimmy. Our clips will get stuck in my mind, and I can't shake them. And sometimes I love
shake it off?
Shake it off.
Sometimes I love it, and sometimes I hate it. What's the one to do the other day? I kept laughing all day, and we played it for years. Is you're in that helicopter,
Like, come on.
I'm pissed.
and I'm the only person in the world laughing at it, and I feel like such a to use your word, Steve, a goober.
A goober.
because I just find that so funny. You're in that helicopter.
You're in that helicopter, and you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, terrorist
pussy.
And I'm after you, buddy.
All right. What is this? Oh, Shake It Off. Yeah. So here's what we'll do. We'll plant a few of these.
Yeah, and see if we can cure you of it.
And then we'll play the eraser again and see if it works for you.
We're like the guy who sold timeshares and now helps you get out of it.
Yeah, right?
I go on too many dates, but I can't make them stay.
All right, hang on a second. Dan says he has that the eraser worked for him. We just played it a little while ago. Hi, Dan. You're on the air. Good morning.
Hey, Preston. How you doing, buddy?
Good. What's up, man?
Well, for the last 2 weeks, I've had Possum Kingdom stuck in my head. I mean, it was affecting my sleep.
Okay.
I just, I'm sitting there. Do you want to die? Going, all this stuff, man. I heard that thing this morning. I even had it when I got up this morning. So I'm coming in and you played that. It's gone.
It's gone.
It's
so
like
it worked.
losing the hiccups.
Yeah.
You know?
Gone, man.
Possum Kingdom is a great song now.
Oh, my gosh. That was just stuck in there. And I was like, oh, man.
So,
but it just happened. So thanks for doing that. That's pretty cool.
No problem, Dan.
Our
So,
pleasure.
yeah. Have you ever had something stuck to that level, to Dan's level, where it's actually in getting into your sleep and you're like, I need to be exercised from this?
Not into my sleep, but I did have one recently that stretched out for a few days.
Was it the helicopter guy?
No, but thankfully I can't remember what it is.
Good.
It was a song for sure.
Don't poke the bear.
And it just kept popping up it's like in the first Inside Out movie. The Triple Dent Gum jingle.
Yep.
Right.
Like she's just sitting there minding her own business. All of a sudden, she's doing schoolwork and Triple Dent Gum, da-da-da-da-da-da. That was happening to me with this one song. I can't remember what it was. And it's the most annoying part of it is if it's a really cheesy song that you might be embarrassed to share with people that you really like or something, and you just can't help it.
Yeah. Is it maybe Shabuzi's A Bar Song? Is that what that's
That might be it. Is this it?
Yep.
All right.
Good Lord. Someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey. They know me and Jack Daniels got a history. There's a party downtown near Fifth Street. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy.
Shabuzi.
No.
That's
Oh, but you didn't get my, good Lord. That's the line. That, for whatever reason, that's the line that gets stuck.
No, this is country music. It's garbage.
Sometimes there is just the part of the song, like the Harvey Danger. Paranoia, paranoia.
Yeah, that one gets stuck in your head.
You don't start with this song. You start with that refrain.
And over and over.
Yeah.
And never ending. All right, we'll go to a few of these. We'll see if we can get a few of these going, and then we'll play that eraser again and see if it works for you. I have Jesse on the phone. Hey, Jesse. Hey, Jesse.
Hey, Jesse. Hang on, I got you.
Ever heard of Jerkmate?
Yes.
Hey, Jesse.
What's up, Jess?
So we used to play this game with each other at work. Try to find the corniest song you can think of and see if we can get it stuck in somebody's head.
I love it. That's a great idea.
It's almost like earworm Russian roulette.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up is always a winner.
No, it's a good one.
Yep, there's a reason why people rickroll that thing. 'Cause
I think for me,
it's like a bomb planted in your head. Thanks, Jesse.
For me to have an earworm, it has to have a little bit more of that percussive edge, like the Andre 3000.
Okay.
This is a little lighter.
I find a lot of Bruno Mars ends up being really catchy.
Bruno Mars.
Like the way that his songs are delivered, obviously it's poppy and catchy, but like they'll get stuck in my head, no problem.
Well, here's...
Yeah, here we go.
That was my jam.
Do it, man.
Andy's busting the moves. That masterpiece.
All right. Casey was dancing.
With a buddy.
I don't know how you can not feel good after you see Casey dance.
That'll be the rest of the day, though. That song will be in my head, and Casey's dancing will be in my head.
Maybe we can help you.
All right, here's one. Here's something people you may not think of as an earworm. Ed has a comment. Hey, Ed, morning.
Hey, guys.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Actually, you guys talked about this a couple of years ago, and believe it or not, one of the cures was to play, like if you have an earwig, and I believe me, I'm horrible. My earwig is whatever song's on until the next song plays, and then that one's in my head.
Okay.
So, yeah, I just, my brain just doesn't function correctly. So, but the suggestion was in your head, play either the A-Team theme or right, or the theme from Indiana Jones.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. Similar.
Your head, and eventually, and actually, that does work for me for some weird reason.
So that neutralizes it for you. When you heard the earworm cure that we played, well, I guess you'd have to be suffering from an earworm to find out if it worked.
I don't know. Well, the Bon Jovi song did do it to me, but I didn't. I'll be honest with you, though. When you were going to play it, I did record it on my phone and see if it, like next time I get an earwig, I'm going to play it back and see if it works.
All right, give it a shot.
But,
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ed. Appreciate it.
Man.
I don't know. I would think then that would get stuck in my head. The Indiana Jones thing.
Yeah. All the time. I probably hum that at least one point during the week.
Probably.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Especially like when you're doing something. Like, you're
when
you're
I
on
take
your own little adventure.
a dump, it's dun, 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 dun. The Batman. Dun, dun.
Oh, I don't know that theme.
Dun. Michael Giacchino. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know it by heart.
Dun.
Let me go to Tom. He's got his own cure. Hey, Tom, good morning.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yo, bud, just taking your call. What you got, man?
Hey, yeah, like I'm surprised a lot of people don't have like a neutral song. That's what I call it. Like, I guess it's a song that helps get an earwig like out of your head.
Right.
Like mine is the Goldfish song.
Sing it.
Like I'll just start singing that, and then I forget whatever song stuck in my head.
Sing the Goldfish song for us.
Oh no, I'm not doing it.
I don't know how it goes.
Is it the snack that smiles back? Is that it?
Well, I love the fishes. They're so delicious.
I don't know that song. I do not
Goldfish.
know the Goldfish jingle.
Really?
Yeah.
Like the commercial and everything?
I mean, I know,
Well,
like-
I guess you got to YouTube.
I know the Kit Kat bar. I know a bunch of jingles, but I don't know
Not
that
the
one.
Goldfish, no.
Fishes, they're so delicious.
Gone, go fishing.
Yeah,
Would you
there
pull
you
up
go.
the lyrics?
Kathy got it.
No, I know.
You know it?
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Sing it,
okay.
Kathy.
All right. Thanks, Tom.
You got the voice of an angel.
Yeah. How's it go, Kath?
I don't know the whole thing, but that's what it is.
Okay. Let's see. Another call, and then we're going to play this. We're going to play and by the way, it's earworm, not earwig.
Yeah, if you do that, you'll go crazy because then there'll be a female earwig that'll lay eggs in your brain and you go insane.
By the way, what are earwigs?
They're insects.
And do they actually
Pictures.
lay things in your ear?
Occasionally that's happened. Apparently,
I didn't know if just the name suggests that, or if they actually do that.
I don't know. There was a Night Gallery episode of the Rod Serling series where the earwig crawled in and then crawled out. It had been placed in the ear by somebody looking to drive this person insane.
Steve, what happens in Star Trek 2 where Khan puts that thing in the person's ear?
They put creatures in our ears.
That's not an earwig, though, is it?
No, but it looks like an earwig.
God, that gave me nightmares as a kid.
Check off. Though you weren't in the series when my episode aired, somehow I recognize you.
Nick, other than the Wikipedia page, can you just do a search on can earwigs lay eggs, or can they live in
Do you know
human
what
ears?
will lay eggs in your ears? Geese.
Shut up. Shut up.
Shut up.
At first, I was like, should you just shut up? Wait, shut up.
They can?
Are you serious? No, here you go. No, earwigs do not lay eggs in your ear.
Okay.
I always thought they did just because the name kind of inferred that.
Ear meaning
says,
ear and wig meaning egg.
This is a popular myth that may have originated from the fact that earwigs are nocturnal and people may have assumed that they would come out at night to take advantage. The myth also suggests that earwigs can tunnel into the brain and lay eggs there, which is also false. There are no recorded instances of earwigs entering a human ear, and earwigs are not interested in doing so. In fact, earwigs prefer to live in moist, rotting wood.
Look at the asterisk at the bottom of the screen, Preston. It says, "See man sitting on stool inside dragon's mouth."
Oh, yes, that's the troll that lights the fuel on fire when they breathe out.
Steve, it says here at the bottom, turns out geese do.
They do lay eggs in your ears.
Lay eggs.
You were right about that.
Shut up.
Shut up. Those eggs are so big.
All right, here's the goldfish theme. Here we go.
I love the fishes because it's so delicious.
Oh, yeah.
Gone goldfishing. I could eat them every day. And my mom says that's okay. I love the fishes because it's so delicious. Gone goldfishing. Gone goldfishing.
Okay.
That song is used to great effect in the movie Sybil.
I guess they have to play. I guess they play that on like kids programming or something.
It's the commercial too.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh.
Like the commercials are run.
During
on
kids
programming.
That's a Slipknot song.
Wow, they're taking a different direction. Let me see. Oh yeah, I wanted to go to this call from Charlie because this can happen to me too. Hey Charlie, good morning.
Hey, McAdam.
McAdam?
Who is Charlie? Where is he? Is this Charlie?
McAdam.
Blacktop.
What is that? Your last name?
No, McAdam. That's what Pierre says when he comes on your show sometimes.
Oh, what does it mean? What does it mean?
It's just Blacktop. Yeah, the street is McAdam.
Oh,
It's a Pierreism.
Okay, a Pierreism. I didn't recognize that.
I don't think I've ever heard him say McAdam on our show.
Yeah, Preston, you'll ask him like a direct question, and that will be his response that has nothing to do with the question you asked him.
Oh,
every now and then.
Oh, I get it, because at that point I'm too pissed off to really care what he just said.
Yes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So there you go.
All right, anyway, what's up, Charlie?
So I had the ability to plant earworms, apparently. I worked at Duffer's Tavern for many years as a bartender. And I would, beginning of my shift, I'd walk through the kitchen to go downstairs to the downstairs bar. And I would always be whistling a song like If I Only Had a Brain.
Okay.
And I'd walk through the kitchen whistling, and the cooks would all see me, and they'd say hi and whatever. I'd get downstairs, and then about 2 hours later, I'd go on break. I'd come upstairs, and the cooks would all sit there and say, "You son of a... that damn song's been stuck in my head all night. Stop your goddamn whistling."
Thank you, Charlie, and I could totally see that happening. I'm a whistler of music. If I'm just kind of going about a task of some sort, I will whistle out loud to songs and then realize.
And you're organic. You're real deal, like old style whistling. Like, there are a few people I've known in my life who legitimately whistle while they work. You do.
I do it.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
a friend of mine, Evan, used to all the time whistle.
And it will be some kind of tune that I've heard recently, and then I'm like, oh my God, I'm whistling that song.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Yeah. The weirdest songs will seep into your whistling repertoire.
Yeah. Like an earworm.
Like an earwig.
All right. So now that we have all these songs, we've listened to a few of them. People have discussed them. You probably have a few rattling around in your head right now.
Yes, absolutely.
We will play this audio again. If you're just tuning in, this doctor who is a music psychologist has come up with what is known as an earworm eraser. And it is a 42-second slice of audio that has a jumbled mess of musical styles and is supposed to delete the song from your mind, at least from repeating over and over.
They say for it to work effectively, and if you're in your car right now, if you're stuck on bumper to bumper, you need to do get out of the car and drop your pants.
And that's only if you really want that song gone. So anyway, here it is. Listen up. And apparently that's it. So I don't know. Don't know if it helped or not. Not only different genres, but different tempos too. So like you can't lock into.
I noticed that.
You can't tap your foot along to it.
And sound effects.
And sound effects as well to kind of throw things off. So I don't know.
Some people said it worked.
Maybe it'll work for you.
I don't know.
I really know. So, all right. Anyway, with that, let's take a break. Come back in a moment. A reminder: we have a secret text word today. We are giving away tickets to see the band Kaleo, the Icelandic band.
Good band.
Casey was the first one to bring us up to speed with those guys, and they've been around for a while now, and they are performing on Saturday, September 15th at the Fillmore. Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster. You can go to WMMR.com for the details. But if you text the word secret to 39333, you just might win in a little while a pair of tickets, and we'll send you a word you'll have to repeat to us later on. We'll also get a random texter on top of that, too. So get on it now. When we come back, the origin of the Stromboli.
Yes.
Stay with us.
Another woman who bit a woman's finger off.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, audio proof that Kathy said bit it.
No, I didn't.
Can I hear? I want to go.
Hold on,
Marissa is she edited.
Another woman who.
You ready? Ready?
Yeah.
In slow-mo.
Okay.
Bit at a woman's finger off.
Play it from the beginning slow like that.
That's exactly what happened. I was there and the woman bitted the other woman's finger off. Did I tell you I was a cheerleader?
How about your winter activities?
My winter activities, I had to not do a few of them during the camp out. I nearly bitted my fingernails off, worrying about it.
Worrying about it.
Okay. All right, play it, Casey. Slow. All right.
Remember, there was also another woman who bit at a woman's finger off. Wait a second. That was also... Is that you?
What I said was bit it.
When are we going to do our wine club again? Where we get together and watch that Nick Lachey show.
Listen, what I said was bit it a woman's finger off.
Like, I Like It, that song?
Bit it a woman's finger off.
Oh, you're still going to fight it.
Yes. You just have to talk so fast with you guys because you either get cut off or shut down or you can't finish your story or your statement or a word. Exactly.
I'm like a falcon just waiting to jump in.
Not you, everybody in here.
Well, I do it the worst. I know.
Steve, can you do a little bit of the traffic in her voice? Somebody's texting you for that.
Okay, on the northeast-south conduit, traffic is backed up. And at the wood crustacean, which sounds like a giant wooden lobster.
Seen their stand-up routine? I don't know, but you should. Please welcome. You know them from the Broken Lizard crew. We have Kevin Heffernan and Steve Lemmy who are here.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. Thank you.
Gentlemen, good to see you.
Thank you. Nice to see you. Yeah.
Fresh off the red-eye flight in from the West Coast.
Fresh off the red-eye. Yeah, we had to get here on time. You know? Yeah, and we listened to your show all the way in.
Oh, I hope it was enjoyable. You
Dick tips. Dick tips. Great runner. Great runner. Kowtowing. Best joke of the last 30 minutes. Kowtowing. Yeah.
And Kevin had a stranger sleeping on him.
Yeah.
On the way.
A lovely elderly Asian woman fell asleep on my shoulder.
Now, we were talking about your ability to, prior to coming on, you rock the plane sleeping, no problem, but you cannot use a neck pillow.
No.
Your body naturally forms a pillow that keeps your head up.
Yeah, I don't have a neck, so my head is just propped on my shoulders.
Yeah.
So my head doesn't tilt, you know? I can just sleep anywhere sitting straight up.
So did you let her sleep on you?
Why not? He didn't know. Can we all get along? Can't we all just get along?
No, I woke up once. I was on a flight from Hawaii back to Philadelphia, and I woke up to there was a little bit of turbulence. Well, there was a lot of turbulence, and this huge man that was sitting next to me was like grasped onto my arm and like wrapping around me, and he was like, "I think we're gonna be okay." Okay.
That was his opportunity.
Come on. I guess so.
If I was sleeping on her, it would have been different. She would have been suffocated.
Yeah.
She would have got rid of me in a second. I'd have pancaked her.
There's a nice space between these. I'll rest my head there.
Yeah.
You know, it's an adorable picture.
Yeah.
It looks like you're smuggling her out of a country. And, but I envy you being able to do that.
Yeah.
Man.
And Steve, you have your arms folded too. I don't know how you can fall asleep in that position.
We were talking about that because I mentioned to you guys before coming on the device I purchased for Preston, which is this inflatable thing, sits on the trade table. Now, Steve, you are as good as Preston at sleeping on a plane, or no?
No. There's only one spot. I can only sleep on the right side of the plane on my right ear. I have to lean against the wall. Otherwise, I can't. My neck is I have too much thin neck to, like, even a neck
Is that
pillow.
a syndrome?
I have thin neck syndrome. Yeah, more giraffe. TNS, they call it.
TNS.
Yeah, I suffer
but
from
you
TNS.
have a specific. You know the specific seat you need. What is the specific seat you need?
The F.
The F seat.
The F seat. And that goes for life too, by the way. I'm always sitting in the F seat. That's your autobiography title. Yeah, Steve Lemon, the F seat. Life in the F seat. Life in the F seat.
Life in the F seat.
Yeah.
They'll think it's a hip hop album. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, but I've just. And it'll screw up any sort of your long-term trip. If you go overseas, you know, you'll ruin a vacation because you lose 2 days because you didn't sleep on the plane.
Yeah.
And I've never done that. I know you're flying mostly within the United States, but now you just got it down to when you get on. How long before you're asleep?
Like minutes. I recommend people have their necks removed, and then it's easy to sleep that way. It really is unbelievable how you can sleep on. Like, it pisses me off.
It pisses me off.
Yeah. Because sometimes, like, one of his eyes remains open for the sleep. Like, you only know he's asleep because his mouth opens up.
Right.
But his eyes are open, and when his mouth is closed, you can talk to him. But when his mouth is open, that's how you know not to disturb him.
It's true. So Kevin, you're acutely aware of the fact that Steve's going to be awake taking pictures.
Oh, that's
of you.
all he does of me. He takes pictures of me while I'm sleeping. I think
have a
it's
whole album
a
of
fetish. It's a fetish he has.
How do you fall asleep knowing that's going to happen?
Nah, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't bother him.
I'm a performer. You know what I mean? I like to perform for people. So I walked into the bathroom, the airport bathroom, when I got off, and I had a gigantic drool stain all the way down my T-shirt too. So no, it was a good sleep. It was a good sleep. Yeah.
That is great, especially when you're walking off the flight. Everyone knows exactly what that is.
Hey, guys, I know that a lot of people were excited when they heard that Super Troopers 2 was going to start production this year. It happened in October. You guys
we shot it. Yeah,
you shot it. It's done?
It's done,
wrapped.
yeah. We're in the editing room now. Yeah, that's why we red-eyed out, because we were editing yesterday. So, But, it was... We finished about first week of October, and we shot for 2 months up in Boston.
So with the with your stage show, and you guys go out and tour, and you've done it for a while. The other three, I guess, go off and do their deal. But
we're the funny ones.
You're the funny ones.
Yeah.
But I love your kind of your stage show is a synthesis of different things. It's a storytelling and stand up, and it's almost like an evening with.
Yeah, we each do a traditional stand up comedy set, but we also we come out together and we'll tell behind the scenes stories of the making of our movies. In fact, this weekend we're telling a fresh new story about Super Troopers 2.
A tease? Because I
I'll
love,
tease it.
I love the...
I'll tease you, Steve.
Tease me like crazy. Tickle my ass with an ostrich.
I'll tease.
So tease, yeah. What is it?
I have a really exciting love scene in Super Troopers 2. I have a very exciting love scene. It's...
Which Carlito's Way member do you look like?
No, it's me with my mustache, but I'm going mustache to mustache with Rodney Farva.
Wow.
Kevin and I have a love scene together.
Yeah.
Really?
We have a thing.
Yeah, we make out in this movie.
Yeah, we can't really give away how it happens, but it does happen.
Yeah, I love that. I love because I was watching a lot of your stuff, and there's an elaborate Patrick Swayze encounter story that I thought was hilarious. And you, Steve, are a huge Patrick Swayze fan.
We're all Kevin and I are both big Patrick Swayze fans, but Kevin missed his opportunity to meet him because he was over at the free buffet table.
But you had a moment.
The window opened for a second, and Kevin was not there for it.
Dude.
What I loved about it is that you guys are, because you guys, you obviously have this degree of success, but you're just the same sort of guys that we all would be in the same situation. When you meet someone you're sort of a fanboy for, and you realize in short order that you were that annoying fan.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
No, we were like, we saw Swayze, and we ran down the list. Like we were like, all right, what should we say to Swayze? And we ran down the list. Yeah, Point Break, Young Blood, Dirty Dancing,
Roadhouse.
Yeah,
we were zipping through all the movies.
You were trying to pick the movie to lead with because you wanted to set the tone.
I was just gonna have him just like talk about every single movie he ever made.
Yeah.
And Kevin, we didn't think we were actually gonna speak to him, but Kevin walked away, and our Super Troopers producer came over and said, I know Swayze. Do you want to come meet him? He's about to leave though, so you have to come right now, which is why Kevin missed the opportunity. But then I got Swayze. I brought him over to a Japanese lantern in the corner of this party, and then I froze. I couldn't remember a single movie. And and then I was like, so is Swayze like your stage name or?
And you saw him do the non-discreet security hand movement that.
Yeah, he made a little signal. I caught it. I didn't register what was happening until Matt Dillon swooped in between us. With his back to me. He was like, "Excuse me, bub." And after about 60 seconds, I was like, "Oh my God." Swayze gave him the signal,
the help signal,
and they were not coming back to me. And I sulked and I walked away. And then Heffernan was waiting for me, and he was so fired up. He was like, "Oh my God, Patrick Swayze and Matt Dillon, tell me everything." And I had crashed and burned.
So, in retrospect, what movie should you have led with had you have remembered? What is the ultimate Swayze movie?
Point Break.
Point Break. Yeah.
Okay,
definitely.
Point Break or Roadhouse
too. Yeah,
I should have gone with.
I think Next to Kin gets forgotten a lot.
Next to Kin is great. Black Dog is a deep cut, which is pretty solid. Ghost, I could go Ghost.
But you're a Dirty Dancing guy.
I'll do Dirty Dancing. Hey, look, in Club Dread, I play a character named Juan Castillo.
Yeah.
And if you translate that into English, it translates into Johnny Castle, which is the name of Pete Swayze's character in Dirty Dancing.
Pete Swayze. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's our homage.
That's homage.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sofia Vergara's attorney, this is a follow-up, spoke out about the reports the actress is being sued by her own embryos and an ongoing legal battle with former fiancé Nick Loeb.
Are they going to put the embryos on stand?
I'm wondering if that's a bold legal maneuver or not, and if they'll try it, but we'll wait and see. The Right to Live lawsuit was filed on behalf of the fertilized eggs, listed as plaintiffs Emma and Isabella on Tuesday in Louisiana.
The defendant, Sofia Vergara. The plaintiff, her embryos.
Loeb and Vergara created the embryos in 2013, and Loeb has since been battling to have them carried to term and then taken to custody. And then he takes them to custody. The latest maneuver, this is according to her attorney, this latest maneuver is nothing more than another attempt on the part of Mr. Loeb to keep himself in the public eye by keeping himself linked to Miss Vergara. You notice that's always what lawyers say. This is another attempt at publicity.
Another shameless attempt.
They always go there.
We have every intention of putting the embryos up on the stand, and I will cross-examine them vigorously.
So there's the...
Look at you. You're not even developed. You have no arms or legs. You're simply an embryo. You're a gelatinous mass, and you show up here without even wearing a suit. You insult the court system.
I think you should be held in contempt.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Not entertain this circus.
Loeb's suit comes just 1 week before it
Besides that, you left a slimy trail all the way up to the stand. And everyone else will now slip in it.
And that might be a lawsuit.
That could be another
right
lawsuit
there.
in the making. And I am frankly shocked that the court would allow this to happen. We ask that anyone taking the stand, please clean up their slimy trails after them.
These from the Geeter bag.
Oh,
these are,
what are these?
These are Anderson peanut butter filled pretzel nuggets. That's what Casey's snacking.
So the Geeter sends, sometimes you get these baskets that have Jerry Blavitt, sends these great baskets, but sometimes people will send these baskets where there's nothing good.
Right.
And it's a wonderful gesture. His baskets always have a lot of great stuff in them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like the tower. Like you get all
That's
those
really
little
good.
boxes.
I do like that.
Yeah.
You know who does that? Harry and David.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And they got the...
Oh, yeah. They have a very good with the holidays. He's the number one place to shop. It's a holiday season upon you. Harry and David are very good. Nick became full-blown, Shogun.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm interested in purchasing a tower of a delectable for holiday season. His name is McHale. Cookie here. Cookie here.
Brownie here.
Duck chocolate covered the blueberry. I said the blueberry.
Blueberry. We don't have any brewberries.
Son of a bitch. I know you were coming to avenge me.
He really did. He got very emotional.
I like the popcorn with it.
So last week on the Connoisseur segment, we had mentioned that the Hers Flavor by Philly winner had been announced, and we've been covering this the past several years. It's a fun thing. It's a great event. It's all local stuff.
We're massive Hers fans to begin with. And it is cool. It's really cool.
Yep. So this year it is a Stromboli flavor, courtesy of Romano's Stromboli. And we were talking about that. We tried the chips, and they're good. And lo and behold, we get contacted by Romano's Stromboli, see if they wanted to come in this morning. We're like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we didn't know the history. I think everybody in the room, in the studio, thought, clearly this is something that was like brought over from Palermo or something. And it was right here. It came from here.
It created.
And the history of the Stromboli, which I'm a huge fan of. You are as well, Preston.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, well, we got robbed of the Philadelphia cream cheese, but we got this.
It was born at Romano. So we want to welcome Peter Romano here to the show this morning.
Good morning.
Nice to see you, Pete.
Nice to be here.
And Dan is along with you. This is your son?
My son, Dan.
Excellent. Dan, thanks for coming in. And by the way,
good morning, Philadelphia.
Marissa pointed out he pronounces it Romano.
Romano.
Yeah. Pete Romano, not Romano.
Whatever pleases you. In there somewhere.
So first of all, congratulations on the win. That's
Thank you
really
very
cool.
much.
You guys get $10,000.
Yes, which we're donating to our charity, Mothers Fighting for Others.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the charity?
It's called Mothers Fighting for Others, and there's a friendship connection. I know the founders of the organization.
Okay.
And so they help orphaned young ladies, women in Kenya.
Oh wow!
And yeah, they have a whole facility there. They house them, feed them, clothe them, educate them.
Wonderful.
It's amazing. And a few have actually graduated from college. So
That's terrific.
That's great.
Yeah, and because I know the people, I have a very high degree of confidence that the money's going to be used well.
Yeah.
Good. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Listen, we were surprised, as Steve was saying in the setup here, when we were reading the press release about you guys winning the award about Romano's, and your third generation of this restaurant. So your grandfather,
Nazareno Romano,
invented the Stromboli.
Invented Stromboli. Nazareno Romano was an Italian immigrant that came to America in 1921 to escape the political persecution of Mussolini's Italy.
Okay.
In 1944, he opens up a business, his first business. He'd been selling pieces out of a wagon cart on Washington Street in Philadelphia during the Depression to feed his family. He opens up Essington Pizzeria in 1944, December 1st. So we're about to celebrate our 80th anniversary. And for 6 years, he operated there. And then in 1950, he starts playing around with an item that he knew from home. So in a way, it is from home, but
it's a variation on it.
The item is in Italian. It's there's a slang word. It's called imbotito pano. It means stuffed bread.
Okay.
So he knew this item. He did a little of his own takeoff. Di Costanza's, there was an item that was becoming very popular. It already had been popular in the area, in Philadelphia area. It's called the hoagie.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So he took the meats. He left out the lettuce and the tomatoes and the onion, that kind of stuff, but the meats. And he added roasted bell peppers and cheese. And he put it in this imbotito item and put it on the counter. Now, my Uncle Bill, William Schofield, who lived across the street on Industrial Highway, comes into the shop, and he says to Grandpa, "What do you got here, Nat?" And I says, "Just something from home." And, I put it out on the counter, but there's got to be a name, Uncle Bill says. He wasn't actually my uncle at the time. And so he says, "You name it. I don't know what to call it, Right off the top of his head, Bill Schofield says, Stromboli. Now, why?
Yeah, why?
1950, okay, Stromboli was very topical. There was a scandal. They called it the scandal of the 50s. Ingrid Bergman and Roberto Rossellini collaborating on the movie Stromboli on the island, volcanic island of Stromboli, okay, married to other people with children, become romantically involved and conceive a love child. And that was huge scandal. News. Oh my God.
Yeah.
She was censured by the United States Senate. That's how big it was at that time. Not big news today, but back then it was big.
Doing the research on it, and I'm a movie buff and I'm familiar with the work, and I was like, how did Stromboli not be on my radar? But yeah, you're right. It was a huge scandal.
Yep.
And so that was foremost in his mind at the time.
Oh, Uncle Bill. Cut up. He right off the top of his head, he says Stromboli. And it's stuck. It's stuck.
It's hilarious.
You had said he wasn't your uncle at the time. What did you mean by that?
Well, he was just somebody that was coming into the shop. He was a war veteran. He'd come back from the war. And he knew Nat because of the shop.
Right.
It opened for 6 years. Later on in the mid-50s, he courts my Aunt Seal, my father's sister, Cecilia, and they marry.
Wow.
That's great. Did he end up getting tied into the business? Since he named it at all.
After he retired, he did. That's an interesting question. Yes, he was actually, he was a truck driver for Lindier. So and Lindier was in town, so every time he'd go down the street, he'd be blowing his horn on the truck, to say good morning. But yeah, he did. After he retired, he did get involved.
So let me ask you this, Pete. Your grandpa creates the Stromboli. Him and your Uncle Bill coming up with the name and the product. Obviously, it's taken off. It's still here. All these years later,
It's had staying power.
I do want to hear.
It sure has.
I want to hear a little bit more of the evolution of it at all. But in fact, yeah. Let's start there. So
there were three flavors that Grandpa created: sweet, hot, and pepperoni. The pepperoni gave us a non-pepper option for some people who don't like peppers. Right. That's the Strombolis that we had all through the 50s. Grandpa passed away in 1964, and my dad took over the business by himself. They were already partners from about 1956 on. My dad, in that early 1960 area, started to expand the line, and that's how the special hot and special sweet and Special Hot won this contest. My dad actually created those items.
Let me ask you a question, though. If your grandfather passed away in 1964, that's plenty of time for the Stromboli to take off. It had other shops picked up on it and started serving their versions of it? Or
Exactly.
So you guys didn't hold like
a trademark.
Yeah, you didn't.
No, we don't own the word Stromboli. We own the word Romano Stromboli. I would stay away from that because I've got that.
Lockdown.
It's a registered trademark.
Well, because I don't know how if you create a signature dish of some sort, you don't necessarily own that.
Here's the deal:
Right.
even if you have a trademark, someone's going to do it, and if they change one or two ingredients slightly, then they can have the rights to it. To me, it
If
seems
they use Clifford cheese instead of Kraft.
so it's precarious at
worthless.
best. What you have though is you have bona fide, the original
Bingo.
Stromboli.
Yeah, have you ever incorporated the word original into the title of
My registered
the
trademark
restaurant?
is Romano Stromboli. The
original.
The original. Nobody can use that.
Okay, all right.
And I've stopped several people from doing it.
Good. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. On the job.
So,
by the way, and I'm sorry to interrupt, Casey and I both had some of it, and the hot one, the one that won the contest, I kid you not. This is not me saying this because you guys are the originators and you're here today. It's the best Stromboli I've ever had.
He comes in. You guys were.
I
in the
gotta hug
green
you
room.
later.
He comes in and he's going, I don't want to sound like too dramatic, but this is the best Stromboli I've ever had.
I've never had better.
It is damn good. I'm wondering, so do people consume Strombolis all over the world now, or all over the
We have
country?
gone all over the world. We've shipped to Europe. We've shipped to Hawaii, Australia.
But if I go to a pizzeria in Chicago, are they going to have a Stromboli there on
the menu?
Well, the thing about it is, and you were alluding to it, listen, when we first opened in 44, there was Mara's on Baltimore Pike, and that's all there was in Delco. Italian food was in New York, in Boston, in Philadelphia, the big cities. That's where the neighborhoods were.
Yeah.
So we were the second business to actually open an Italian eatery in Delaware County. We're the oldest one that ever has existed.
Yeah.
So to your point, in the mid-'60s, a lot of other immigrants and other people that, this is the way you come to America. You open up your own business, the best way to make it. Opened up pizza shops, and you might know about us. And maybe in Bryn Mawr, somebody opens up a new pizza shop, and you go in, and they've got a menu board up there, and you go, "Where's your Stromboli?" You know that Romano sells Stromboli. They look at you like, but the next time you go in next week or next month, they're going to have Stromboli on that. It's not going to be our Stromboli, but the word's going to be there.
But to expand on Casey's question, so I've lived here for about 30 years. I came from the Midwest, and I had never heard of a Stromboli before I moved here. So what he's wondering if it's kind of regional. Will you see this on menus in California and so on?
Seattle. You will, and
You will, okay.
There's a story that how it made the hop. How did it make the jump from Essington, Philadelphia area across the nation? You have to look at the fact that Romano's is a mile south of the Philadelphia International Airport.
Yeah.
And when John Bisacco bought Walber's, there was a big seafood place in town in Essington, and he put hotels up. He filled those hotels with airport people. And when they found out that we were there, and when they found out that they could take them home, and they could bake at home, they're frozen, they began to go to San Francisco, Dallas, L.A., and actually, when we were on the Travel Channel show, there were several people that, responded on our social media saying, well, I was a pilot for TWA in those years, and yes, we used to come in and get them and take them home. They used to call my father up and say, we're coming in, we're at the airport, don't close, we want to get,
Yeah.
That is wild.
Pete, you're an excellent storyteller. I'm loving hearing the history of all of it. And we were talking off air earlier, Stromboli is one of those things that you can ship frozen, which you guys do, right?
Yes, we do, yeah.
So, but I want to hear your personal preference on the differences between a Stromboli and a calzone. When you hear those two words, does your the hair on the back of your neck stand up a little bit?
A little.
Okay.
They're not the same.
Because they're not the same.
They're not the same.
Right.
No.
And explain why.
Listen, again, we're discussing how it got started and how it got picked up. We're a bakery.
Yeah.
Okay. We're a small business, but we're a bakery. And if you're not a bakery, you can't really make Stromboli the one that Nazareno Romano created in 1950. Most of the places, what they did when they were under the gun, as I said earlier, about, I got to have Stromboli. This guy's going to come back and want Stromboli. They took their pizza dough, which they had already in their pizza shop, in a retarder, in a can. It's kept refrigerated before they actually make a pie with it. And they took that and wrapped whatever you want on the spot, okay? Put heat into it for 15 or 20 minutes and gave it to you. That was your stromboli from that business. It takes me about 8 hours to make stromboli. It's bread. I just got to go through 4 different proof stages before I can bake it.
Wow.
So this is baking bread. The protocol is much more intense.
Big difference.
Big difference.
So what is the absolute delineation between a calzone and a stromboli? I've always...
You probably know more about it than I do, to be honest with you. I don't get out too much. I'd have to admit, I've never had a
So by my
calzone.
reckoning, a calzone is more the cheese.
It's got the regatta cheese
sauce,
sauce
and
in it.
it's more like an encased...
I see a pizza shell that's folded over on
That's
some of these items.
basically it, yeah.
And I've seen some of them, they put them in a deep fryer. Some people tell me about a lot of grease on them.
Dan wants to jump in. Dan.
Steve, it's mostly the regatta cheese.
Yeah.
We don't do regatta cheese in any of the strombolis, and it's not the same dough, like my dad said.
Okay, yeah. That's
right.
great.
So the dough is a big part of it because you're right. In hindsight, you are correct. And I never really thought about it. A lot of times you can tell that's just pizza dough that they use.
It's never going to become bread.
And it's way
gonna be
different. That's okay.
There you Son of a bitch.
That's what's kept us going for 80 years.
It's
So,
amazing.
We didn't land on Plymouth Rock.
Prior to joining us this morning and us talking about this last week, I was a little upset with myself because I consider myself the unofficial mayor of Delaware County, and I hadn't heard of Romano's. And now I'm looking on the map, and I got to tell you, I know Romano's. Not only do I know Romano's, but it is a very, very, there's a core memory that I have of going to work with my father. My father was a truck driver. And so being able to work with him and ride in the truck was always a treat. And we went to Romano's Deli at the end of the day. And I'll never forget, because I'm looking at it, I'm like, yes, he parked the car right on the corner there. Yeah. So, and the chances are you know my father and or knew my father at some point. So, yeah. I'm so thrilled
might
now.
have even met you. It's
Yeah, no, I had to stay in the truck.
I was telling Danny, Ben Davis comes in all the time.
Does he?
Oh, yeah, for years. He came in as a kid. And one day I'm out there talking to him, and he's going, I've been coming here since I was a little kid, Pete. And he says, my father used to bring me here. And so there's 80 years is a long time, folks.
Yeah. So let me ask you, with a business like this, and you have this legend, and you're attached to this food, and obviously you have this honor for her as a great company as well.
Oh, great, tremendous company.
So a lot of times you see businesses start to. I was watching. There's the People That Fed America series on the History Channel. I must reference it once a week on our show because I love it so much, and it talks about the entrepreneurs that create these foods that we all eat and love. And you'll see it time and time again of a business that has the thing that people love, and they expand too quickly, and then the product gets diluted and so suffers.
Yeah.
So does that kind of growth have any attraction to you, or you love where you are and your mindset is to keep this more?
Steve, I think you're talking about what's made it hard because you
are
worried about the quality and the process that you have. So we've probably been a little bit more patient with that, but we are open to some growth opportunities.
Good, yeah. It always seems the ones that do it and do it right do it systematically and don't just blow it all out in one shot.
Yeah. The biggest concern is the quality item because this is handmade artesian bread.
Yeah.
And we've always done it that way, and we're looking into it. How can we do it? Can we actually duplicate that item? To the thing about other businesses and the longevity and the passion.
Yeah.
The passion. It requires quite a bit of passion to hang in there. I mean, we've gone through COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things that have happened over the last 80 years.
Pete, you mentioned your dad is the one who is the creator of the original hot Stromboli, which
Special
is
hot.
the
The one
special
that
hot.
you're on. Yeah.
All right, what's on it? What's in it?
There's 6 different kinds of meat. There's boiled ham, cottaglino, capicola, sliced pepperoni, Brigittini, not prosciutto, Brigittini, and boiled ham. Brigittini is like a black peppered ham. So there's 6 different kinds of meats, and then there's roasted bell peppers on the hot one. It's yellow banana, and then there's American cheese. And a lot of people get hung up on American cheese.
No, that's it. That's it. I was going to ask you what kind of cheese
It's
is in there
American,
because I'm
Brent.
like, this is either the creamiest provolone that I've ever tasted that had more flavor. I like provolone, but provolone is just a smidge bland. Yeah. And this has more interesting flavor.
Grandpa
to it.
just felt that the American cheese fitted better, and that's what he went with. And do we make items with other cheese?
I knew it! You knew it!
But we have other strombolis that have, provolone and mozzarella. I mean, our pizza steak stromboli has mozzarella. We have a pepperoni bread that I bought today that's got 3 different kinds of cheese in it. So it's pepper, it's a provolone, American, and mozzarella. And
so how are you? So I love this. I love the meticulous nature of how you approach this. And you must have over the decades that you've been doing this. Your specific clients that you go and you have a cheesemonger that you use, or what's the process of getting all the ingredients that go into what you use on a daily basis?
Well, I mean, again, Grandpa had the 3 all during the 50s, and then Dad added about another half a dozen flavors in the 60s.
Right.
And again, including the special hots, and he started the vegetable strombolis, vegetable and cheese. And then I've added more since my tenure. I took over in 97.
Is there another on the drawing board? You have the flavors right now. You have the Is there another? Is there like in a back room?
That's a funny question because when you're selling a prefabricated sealed sandwich, how do you know which one's which after you get done baking them? So they all have to be marked. Most of them are razor marks. It's like Egyptian hieroglyphics. I'm running out of markers for this thing. That's great.
Hey, Pete, does your old high school football coach come and try the strombolis from time to time?
Once in a while. Vince is pretty busy. I saw him. Vince Papale. He was my high school football coach. When I went to Innerborough, I graduated in 72, and I came to Innerborough in my junior year, just like my son did, and was a walk-on in my senior year. They gave me the number 83, and I led it by being the captain of the special teams. Vince went and tried out for the Eagles in 76, and they gave him the number 83, and they made him captain of the special teams, and he'd never played professional NFL football before. Yeah. So Vince... And so I went to see Vince when this chip thing first happened, and which was great. And he was in town, and he's in Finland right now. Vinny's playing football on the Italian team. I guess there's some kind of a championship that's going on in Europe. And we're talking about the chip contest and everything, and I kept hugging him. And I'm emotional, And I'm telling Vince, I'm going, I can't stop hugging you. And he goes, of course you're Italian. That's what Italians do. They hug.
Wow.
That's great.
Like Steve was saying, are there any creations that are still swirling around in your mind, or is that something that
on the drawing board
a restaurateur is regularly doing, or do you just kind of keep it go with what works, and there's no need to tinker too much?
We've got 18 different flavors. 18, and I've thought about veal scallopine. So my grandfather has this item that we sell, most of the stuff is from Grandpa, the bolognese, the marinara, the white and red clam sauces, the veal scallopine. And Grandpa's veal scallopine is a stew. There's different ways to make veal scallopine. Ours is a stew. Right. And I've thought about maybe putting it in the stromboli to see how it would go. Yeah. What I have to try to worry about is I don't want it to be too wet. Yep. I don't want it to be leaking out of there.
Too messy.
But we've got a lot of different options with that. Danny brought on buffalo chicken.
Okay.
I'm a buffalo chicken fan.
And the Eagles inspired.
You put eagle meat.
Oh yeah, we made a Philly special.
Eagle meat.
Yeah.
Eagle.
And that's when Hers came to me with the contest. So last November, Hers comes to me and you're one of 12, and then they came back and you're one of 3 in their flavored by Philly contest. And the first thing I say to him is just what Danny says. I had created this Philly special.
Yeah.
I'm so brilliant. And I said to the rep from Hers, I said, let's do the Philly special because, marketing, that works better.
Right.
And he goes, you've got nothing to do with that, Pete. You have somebody that submitted this flavor, and that's what we're going with.
That's right.
And I went, okay.
But that's cool, man. And what a tribute. I mean, what I love about the contest in general is that as all the nominees are rolled out, you're shining the light on local businesses that are providing all these things. It's food that people love and has such a local flavor to it. We say it time and time again, for any restaurant to succeed, it's such a massive uphill battle, and to have a family restaurant that's generational is a massive accomplishment.
Doesn't happen very often.
No.
My dad says, you think you own the business? The business owns you.
Right.
And unless you're committed at that level, you're not going to make it. I've seen a lot of people come and go.
Yeah.
They open up for a year or two. Not many come and stay.
Yeah, shout out to Mahomes and Toledo's. Those guys were great partners as we went through the competition.
Yes.
We've been talking to them.
Yeah.
It's been super fun. And
it's got to be a very familial thing. These other companies.
Yeah, Hers has been. I mean, again, what Hers has done here. This is a third year. has just been phenomenal. They're reaching back. They're a family business.
Yeah.
They're reaching back and creating a platform for family businesses that customers have submitted, to them, nominated, and they're giving them a platform to get notoriety, to get out in the marketplace, and for hers to do that. This has just been tremendous, and kudos to Ed Her and that whole organization.
The family's great. I mean, they
are.
They've been
really
a
are.
couple of them listen to the show and are big supporters, and we've had a good relationship with hers over the years. Yeah, they're terrific.
And we were involved in the whole process from start to finish. They my father created the flavor. I mean, it was a big. They came to me with. They did R&D, and they came to me with 4 samples, and my father rejected every single one of them. I mean, my father, and he told him why, what was wrong with it, and I didn't know what was going to happen. I'm just keeping my mouth shut, And we're in the restaurant dining room, and I go, okay. So then they go, well, what do you want? He wanted basically a bigger cheese punch to it,
right?
And so then they came back. And we were able to negotiate through that, but I was actually surprised because it's their chip, it's their contest.
They could have said F you.
Yeah, they could have.
But it's got your name on it, so it's got to be a reasonable facsimile thereof. So I understand your dad wanting to get on board with that.
I'm just glad that he has the tongue to because we're living vicariously off of his taste.
Is he out of the business altogether now? Retired?
Mom and pop. Think mom and pop.
Yep.
The restaurant, his house.
Really?
He's
Really?
right there in the office every day.
Wow.
Hey, Pete, getting back to the original story about Stromboli in the movie, and you talked about the love child. Did that love child grow up to be Isabella Rossellini?
Yes, it did.
No way!
Yes, it did. Yeah.
So it was the love child of Roberto Rossellini and Ingrid Bergman.
Yes.
And wow, I mean,
And
you
Ingrid
should
Bergman,
ship her one. You got to
Ingrid Bergman, a wonderful actress. I
Amazing.
mean, she's an iconic actress and an amazing person. It just was one of these things at that moment, that this story broke. In 2024, it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
And in 1950, it's a different world.
What if your grandfather had just seen the movie Mighty Joe Young? Well, that's what we could be eating. Son of Kong.
Well, again, fate. You can talk about that fate. There's different things, and even today, I see things happen, and I go, why? How did this happen? How did we get to here? It's an amazing. Never give. Vince used to always say to me, "Never give up on your dreams."
No, and he would certainly know.
And usually, just before just when you want to quit because you've had enough, you just go one more step and pay dirt. You walk into a whole different world.
So let me ask you, will Mark Wahlberg be playing you in the movie?
You guys are too much. I don't know. I'll give him a call.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll ask Vince about that. I
We
don't
actually have a good relationship with him. So.
I'm going to make him an offer he don't refuse.
Wow. Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, if people want to get a piping hot, fresh, real deal, the original Stromboli, then you got to go by Romano's.
Yes,
Let me
Romano's.
say that correctly. For those who don't know where you are in Essington, where are you located?
246 Wanamaker Avenue, Essington, Pennsylvania. We're 1 mile south of the Philadelphia National Airport, exit 9A, Essington. You head right towards the river when you get off of exit 9A, about 3 blocks.
And the chips are only around for a limited time, right?
There's a lot of them at my place if you want. I still got a couple more Bowley Fests. I've done 2 Bowley Fests this summer, and I'm going to do another one on November 7th.
Bowley Fest?
Bowley Fest.
Yeah, Stromboli.
Made that word up. I
love it.
So December 1st this year is our 80th anniversary. We're teaming up with the township, Tinicum Township, with their community day. So there's going to be music and fireworks, and we're going to do a Bowley Fest on November 7th. Of this year. It's a Saturday. And
Please loop us back into this because we want to get the word out. Is that the week of our camp out, by the way?
No. That's after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
that's
said
right.
November 7th.
Oh, yeah, Thursday, December. Okay.
So we'll be giving away free Bowley slices and free potato chips if I still have them.
Yeah.
They're not making them anymore.
Right.
But I think I bought like well over 100 cases of potato chips.
Why wouldn't you?
And I don't know if I sold 20% of them. They were like business cards all summer.
Nah.
I would
get
meet
it.
people and I go to different things and I just give them out. It was such a fun experience. I even flew my cousin Franco Basili in from San Benedetto, Taranto, Italy,
wow.
and for my family. I mean, we just had a great It was just a love fest.
I
the
love
whole
that.
Summer.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Kudos to you guys and your family.
Thank you.
Awesome. It's so great.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
RomanoStromboli.com for all your social media.
What is it again? RomanoStromboli.com.
On Instagram, TikTok, Facebook.
OnlyFans.
And then
Our website.
we do ship across the country. So if you visit us there, you can order. And if you want some in Chicago or California, we ship all over.
We have a great deal right now. You get 5 Strombolis for the price of 4. We give you sauce, and we give you a Hers bag of potatoes.
There you go.
I mean, you got 100 cases. You might as well.
Yeah, I mean, I got to do something with them.
And try the special hot. I'm telling you, that's the best Stromboli I've ever had.
It's a flavor explosion in your mouth.
Kathy's the only one that no. I never. No, but with that, we're gonna take a break so I can go eat some more Stromboli.
All right.
I'm starving. Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And
Bless you,
Pete
Steve.
Romano from Romano's Stromboli, the original. All right, we are gonna take a break. We'll come back in just a second. Bizarre File stories and more on the way. Stay with us.
You like the blueberries, right?
The Harry and David dark chocolate covered blueberries. And here's the difference. Here's where it all comes down to. They're actual blueberries covered in dark chocolate, as opposed to blueberry mush. Some other places do. This was once a blueberry before we treated it with radiation and whatever. But the Harry and David dark chocolate covered blueberries are blueberries.
Yeah. So when you had your surgery a couple of years ago, Steve,
you very kindly brought by like a whole supply of them.
Yeah, I bought 3 boxes of blueberries. I only gave you 2 of them.
Mate, I'm only learning about that now. Now I regret having the surgery.
Hey! Is this a Harry and David?
He had dishonored you.
You make me rose face. In front of Harry and David, I will kill you. You have dishonored my tower of chocolate covered popcorn.
Nick, that was just so guttural, so raw. You're
Holy crap.
If that doesn't tell you how cold it is.
I mean, it's like an alien. I
don't
swear
even
to God,
know
it's like
what
a thing from another planet.
Two sets of eyes.
Is that 2 or 3?
So to describe, just a moment. We had a number one. It just looked like a black mass that walked in through the door here, and then as this thing got closer, we realized that it's actually Pierre Robert.
I thought it was Sasquatch.
He's wearing a huge, thick, down black jacket. He has, of course, his hair flying out all over the place, and he has a huge hat on that's fuzzy, all kinds of fur all over it, which is fake, I'm sure. And then he has a pair of sunglasses, and then on top of that are a pair of spectacles. And his mouth is opening and closing.
Well, I'm trying to get a word in.
I'm just describing for the audience what we're seeing here.
He's trying to breathe.
So it's cold out.
Baby.
Yeah. I got to play that from Dean Martin later today. But I found this hat somewhere in my travels, and I go, this hat will make me look like a Ruski, and then I can hack into the U.S. political system. And
this actually makes you look. Who's the guy who's saying, I just want to stop and tell you how I feel
Smirnoff?
About you? Do you remember that guy, the Canadian guy who was super hairy?
Kenny Rogers.
I never saw him. I know the song.
Yeah, it's just an amazing. You do look like Sasquatch with bad eyesight.
I could be totally speaking out my ass here, but Steve, do they do prescription sunglasses these days?
They absolutely do. Claire has, my wife has them, and they're absolutely manageable and doable.
What are you laughing at? These people are laughing
at your multiple sets of glasses.
People that give me funny looks while I'm driving because I'll have my sunglasses on and then my reading glasses below my sunglasses.
All right, this is the guy, Gino Vanelli.
Gino Vanelli's who she was
That's
talking
who you
about.
look like.
That song. And yes, it does look like him.
Well, there you have it.
For your love.
Yeah.
He's a handsome devil, just like me.
Wait, so are your eyes dilated right now?
No.
Oh.
I could take them off.
Yeah, you can take them off. There you go.
Yeah, there.
You look like a Sasquatch safecracker.
This is Gino Vanelli, by the way, who Pierre looks like this morning.
It's this big, black, fuzzy, fake fur hat with flaps. As I was leaving the premises, I'm thinking this will be good today. But it's not the cold. There are bursts of wind. What?
I keep seeing Jaromir Jagr.
Yeah, from the side when he turned sideways.
Yeah.
Yes,
because it kind of looks like he have a mullet, and he actually brought it back.
Who's your
hockey player?
He's a hockey player. Yeah, I shouldn't have used the sports reference.
I thought it was another movie thing that I'd missed.
No, it was a hockey
The Break
thing that you
Bad
missed.
Guys.
So Darth Vader's cousin.
Okay. Yeah. So it is. Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah, exactly.
Here we go.
Well, honestly, it's the picture's worth 1,000 words.
Oh.
We're putting it up.
It's the wind bursts that get you.
Yes, the wind chill.
So the cold is not so bad, but that wind is tough. So buckle up if you're going out.
Buckle up heartily.
Yeah.
Wear your warmest buckles.
Buckle up for safety. Buckle up.
For warmth.
Yeah.
Sitting to my left, ladies and gentlemen, Adrian Zemed.
Adrian Zemed? I thought he was dead. Oh, my God.
We're not kidding. We've been talking about you forever, right, Preston?
We have. We absolutely have. We are fans. Has anybody ever said to you, I thought you were dead before, though? That's a slight insult.
Well, actually, there was an episode of The Simpsons where I was in one of their musical numbers, and I popped out of a coffin saying, and I'm not dead.
Here you are in this play, and again, Middletown, and it's two couples, and they're sort of there's some comedy, there's some sadness, but it's the way they've grown over the years. And what drew you to this?
Exactly that. I'm used to, I've been through the Eastern Seaboard so many times with musicals.
Yeah.
And I'm used to just being drenched in sweat by the end of the show and doing it. And then I read this play, and it was such a simple play. It's just about two couples who have dinner every Friday night for 33 years.
Right.
They're best friends, and they're normal people, and life happens to them. And it truly is a roller coaster of emotions. I mean, we suck you in by all our little charming quirks that the couples have and everything, and then life happens. There are tragedies in life that you have to deal with, relationship problems with your spouse and everything. But what is the great fascinating thing about this play is that the words speak for themselves. I'm actually first generation Romanian, so my family came, to America for their kids to, be doctors and lawyers, and I come up to my dad and say I'm going to be an actor. And it's like, the funny thing about him is I won him over. I literally out of acting school, I got one of the last national tours of the original Grease, and we were playing in my hometown of Chicago.
You were playing Zuko.
Yeah, I was playing Danny, and we were going into a very big theater into Chicago, and there was and nobody really knew very much about Grease at that time.
Right.
The movie had not come out yet. It was just a hit on Broadway, and there were a few national tours. So the company manager said, "Look, we're having a lot of trouble with this opening night. We're going to paper the house. Tell your dad that you can invite the entire congregation." So,
oh man, that's a
I didn't mention that my father is a priest, an Orthodox priest.
Right,
they can get married.
And Greece is
Eastern Orthodox priests can get married.
Yeah. Greece is very profane.
Oh God,
yeah,
yeah, the stage show.
Kidding?
Yeah.
I'm giving the finger on the show, and it's just like the original Grease was not meant for kids; it was meant for adults looking back on their lives in high school.
So he brings down the congregation.
So there were 500 Romanian people screaming and yelling, and they had their gypsy violins, and they were going singing the act. Every time I came out, there was a big cheer. It was then that my father was won over, and he kind of, although he didn't understand when I ended up getting television and film when I was doing TJ Hooker. he didn't really understand what that was all about. So he says, You work for 1 hour. What you do rest of week?
That's great.
You are a bum. I got into this business because I wanted to be an actor.
Right.
That's it. I never even wanted to do television and film. I just
Okay.
wanted to work in theater.
Right.
That's all I ever wanted to do. And then one thing happens, and then you're just whisked away, and suddenly you're in Hollywood, and you're doing all this stuff.
You're good friends with William Shatner, right?
Yeah, I'm actually. We're currently working on a few projects with his production company. Actually, we're letting it out right now. We're actually thinking of bringing Hooker back.
Oh, that'd be
in a comical way.
That'd be awesome.
Perfect. Bill is 88. Yeah. But the funny thing about it is that when we did Hooker, Bill pretty much did push the envelope on asking for ridiculous things for Hooker to do.
Okay.
I mean, we had like technical advisors from LAPD there, and he said, "Look, no, I got this idea. How about I just run over to the helicopter, and as it's going up, I just grab onto the rung of the helicopter, and when we're up in the air, I take my gun out and I go, bring it down." And the TA standing there going, nobody would ever do that.
The top text here says, "Poor man Travolta, my ass."
Yeah.
He made Bachelor Party, which is an absolute. It's one of my favorite films, and you have one of the best lines in the movie. I think personally.
Look at the cans on that pinball.
Well, you're telling him, man, I really would love to have a relationship.
I would love to have this relationship that you have, and someday I'll have kids and be happy. And hey, look at the cans on that pinball. You know that movie. Tom and I lived very close to each other. So we lived in Studio City, and the soundstage that we were shooting this at was in Culver City. So it was a pretty good distance to go on the 405 freeway.
And you've been on Bosom Buddies, right?
Yes, yes. I played Johnny Midnight, his boyhood friend from camp.
So you knew him?
Yeah. And we'd carpool to work because we could go in the carpool lane and everything. And as every day after we get in the car and we go, our careers are over. Our careers are really over. What are we doing? This is going to be terrible.
No.
All we did was show up for 13 hours a day and goof off. Almost nothing of what the script originally was in there. We just ad-libbed. We just goofed off. And honestly, some of the funniest scenes in the movie never made it into the movie because we had gotten an X rating.
There's a horse scene. There's a horse
a donkey show.
Let me tell you about this. The donkey actually died.
What?
They brought him back to life.
No.
They literally shot him with some shot of something for him to go, and then he keeled over. And his heart stopped.
Oh my God!
And we've got all these people. There's like 100 extras. Many of the girls are half naked and everything. We're all standing there going, "Oh my God! They killed the donkey!"
Dear Lord,
you resurrected a donkey, Adrian Samantha?
And they did the whole adrenaline thing. You know what I mean? They put the
Oh my
in
God.
his heart, and he came back.
The donkey snorts 3 lines of coke.
You definitely
It's a real good kids movie. You know, I'm really proud.
You're thinking your career's over, but no.
And then, honestly, when we saw the first cut, it was like, Tom and I looked at each other. This is funny. What the hell happened?
Is there any chance you could go back and re-release a director's cut by any chance, or is it too late?
Back then, they didn't save that kind of footage.
Now they do all the time.
And they do it all the time because of everything they do. But honestly, there was one scene that was absolutely hysterical. So we're the bachelor, the party's not going very well. The hookers haven't showed up. We're sitting in the hotel room looking at a Shirley Temple movie.
Right.
And it's just not going well.
The hookers go to the wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
So then I say, Rick, let's go downstairs and get something to eat. I'm hungry. So we get into the. I'm not gonna do this to say this on radio. This was cut. I said, sit in this booth. This is the best booth in the place. So he sits in there, and all of a sudden you hear a zipper sound. His eyes light up. Right. There's a girl underneath who is.
Oh, as of tomorrow, voting will begin. Sorry, I have some Stromboli in my tooth. We will have voting beginning on live band karaoke for MMRBQ. It starts Thursday at 6 a.m., and that means that we're putting it out to the audience. We have like, Chuck was telling me, like over 50 entries, which is like way more than I thought we were going to get, and that's fantastic, which means we got to kind of select through those, and you got to vote for the ones that you like the most.
Wow.
10 singers will be chosen. Each will get a 4-pack of MMRBQ tickets. So this starts tomorrow at 6 a.m. You can go to WMMR.com to get the details.
I love it. I love that people are excited about the side stage. It was just sort of a passing notion a couple of years ago. Yeah. And it just exploded. And we love it.
Yeah, it was kind of like, hey, why don't we try this thing? We're like, okay, I don't know if it'll work or not. And then we did it, and we were like, oh, my God, people loved it.
Yeah, we love it.
So it will, the backing band is Musician Impossible, by the way. So we thank them for jumping in. Sidearm couldn't do it this year, so we'll have Mission Impossible, and you or the singers with a real backing band, not a track, and you get a real feel for what it's like to rock out on stage in front of a real audience.
If you haven't seen it, if you haven't been in the past 2 years, what happens is we time it out with what's happening on the main stage and during the breaks. Everyone impressive. It's wild to be there on stage and see everyone round the corner, come and fill in the area in front of the stage, and then go back. It works out great.
All right, we'll remind you about it tomorrow when the voting is up and running because we do need your help. Nick needs your help too.
Yeah, I'm doing this really cool thing tonight with the National Park System. One of my life goals is to make it to all 63 national parks, and the National Park Service is really one of the crowning jewels of this country. I'm a big fan. So National Parks Chat, it's just called Park Chat, is tonight at 9 p.m. All the information's up on PrestonandSteve.com, WMMR.com. But we're looking for questions and or topics or concerns or anything that you want to know about the national parks. We're going to involve that in the conversation tonight. So either email me, Nick at WMMR.com, or follow me on Instagram or Twitter or whatever. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you want to participate, starts at 9 p.m. tonight. So I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm honored that the National Park System wanted me to be a part of it.
What is an example of a question one might ask for national parks?
Which is your favorite park and why? Would you want to get back to Yellowstone? How can you possibly make it to the ones in Alaska, which I haven't been to yet? So
can you drive to Alaska?
But I mean, we were talking earlier in the show about like safety concerns. What equipment should you bring with you? I learned firsthand you should always bring a Garmin. You should bring a GPS system because there might be an emergency you're not aware that is around the corner. So stuff like that.
Are there any there's got to be national parks in Hawaii.
There's 2, Haleakala and Volcanoes.
Have you been to any?
I've not. No, I haven't been to Hawaii or Alaska. So there's 10 there. There's one in American Samoa.
What about Puerto Rico? I know it's a territory.
No, the only one in the Caribbean is the one you've been to, which is in the Virgin Islands on St. John. So that's Virgin Islands National Park.
Okay.
And I think the only other overseas one is American Samoa, which is like beyond Hawaii. And that's one of the hardest ones to get to. But people do it. People make it to all 63. So hopefully at some point in my life, I'll do that as well.
Okay. Go to WMMR.com and submit your question there or email Nick or whatever you want to do. And you can check in on the chat through that. I'm sure there's a link on there, right?
There it is, yeah.
Okay.
It's 9 p.m. tonight.
Nice. All right. We have Bizarre File Stories to share. Here we go.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, let's get into some stories. We'll start with this. Moments of terrifying chaos at a local daycare came to an abrupt end when police took a naked and blood-covered man into custody. This was last week in Lower Chichester, Pennsylvania.
Sorry about that, guys.
It's a Delco. Officers responded to reports of an intoxicated man armed with scissors who was trying to break into the Sunrise Christian Day School in Linwood. I don't think he was running with scissors. They arrived to find clothes strewn across the lobby, along with loud banging and glass breaking above them. The suspect had jumped onto the second floor.
Jeez.
Authorities said they found him naked and covered in blood on the street below. He was taken into custody and identified as 18-year-old Sahir Sadler Chandler.
I'm good with children.
While being transported to a medical center for treatment, police said that he spat blood and saliva on medical staff. Is charged with simple assault, reckless endangerment, weapons offenses, harassment-related offenses as well. That's disturbing. In Rhode Island, police said a man was arrested after allegedly urinating on a woman's leg at a Kenny Chesney concert.
Oh, no.
Wow.
At
one of the concerts you'd figure that might happen.
Gillette Stadium on Saturday night. Police said that they responded to the concert after a report of a man urinating on a woman's shoes.
Doesn't he have a song called Pretty Little Lady, Let Me Piss on Your Leg?
Pretty little lady let me piss on your leg? He probably does. Shane Lynch, the man accused of the act, is a police officer. He was off duty at the time of the incident. According to officials, the woman had felt a warm liquid hitting her leg. When she turned around, she told police that she saw Lynch standing there.
I said, pretty little lady, let me piss on your leg.
Behind her. And it's more a traditional bluegrass song. The victim said that Lynch had his shorts zipper down and saw him urinating on her boots. Police said the woman alerted security. Police said that Lynch appeared to be heavily intoxicated when they approached him. He was facing charges of disorderly conduct and destruction of property. Fortunately, boots are pretty easy to clean off.
So at least pee.
Too bad.
If you had a poop, that might have been another issue.
5-year-old, and I watched video of this, 5-year-old Zayan Safuglu has pulled off a driving accomplishment that most men will only dream of. With his father in the seat behind him, Zayan, 5 years old, is able to take a Lamborghini Revuelto to 194 miles an hour while seated in a baby seat and using pedals that had been extended so that he could reach them.
How old is he?
5.
And he's in a baby seat.
It's insane.
How did they work this rig?
The kid he's got the paddle shifters on the steering wheel, and he just does it himself. They've got the accelerator and brake rigged up to where they come all the way up to where he is sitting. And to cap it off, he finished with his run of a bunch of burnouts, like spinning around, smoke flying everywhere, burnouts.
What?
And it's unreal that this he's 5 years old, and there's video of him in the cockpit of the car. There's video of him afterwards, and he's just he's a driving badass. So clearly his dad has access to all these cars. We're watching the video now on Instagram. I want you guys to see when he does these burnouts, because you'll see him turn the wheel all the way, and then he just floors it, and they go spinning around with smoke and circling the car.
Oh, my God.
It doesn't faze this kid at all. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Doesn't look like he's doing it.
Yeah. It's
That
crazy.
is crazy. So I always thought you had to be, 16 to get your learner's permit and everything. I think of that as the ceiling. If you're below a certain age, are you allowed to drive?
Yes, of course you are.
If you're below 6,
you can drive. And that's why
5 and
he's only
15.
got a few months left, and then he can't do it again until he's 16.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. So 2 people were injured Monday when a wolf bit them, and they were stopped for construction.
Yeah, that just happened.
Construction work along the Dalton Highway, according to Alaska State Troopers. The troopers learned of the attack near Coldfoot. They said that they revealed a wolf bit the 2 motorists in their lower extremities while they were stopped in a construction zone.
It's very uncommon.
And out of the vehicle while waiting for the pilot car. The wolf fled into the woods after being shot at by another motorist and is not believed to have been struck. The attack,
I guess you could say I was hungry like the wolf.
The attack occurred as the motorists were outside their camper and examining it. Multiple other commercial vehicles were stopped in the area at the time. The black wolf was showing behavior consistent with having been fed by motorists prior to Tuesday's incident, including a lack of fear of humans. So that's never a good thing. So a would-be burglar in Rome, Italy, was caught after stopping to read a book on Greek mythology in the middle of a theft. The 38-year-old reportedly gained access to an apartment via the balcony, but became distracted after picking up a book about Homer's Iliad on a bedside table.
This is interesting.
The 71-year-old homeowner is said to have awoken and confronted the alleged thief who was engrossed in the book.
I'm trying to read.
News of the failed burglary attracted the attention of the book's author, who told local media that he wanted to send the man a copy so he could finish it.
Well, if you're talking about a testimonial.
After being caught off guard, the alleged thief reportedly attempted to make a quick getaway by escaping via the same balcony, but he was arrested shortly afterwards. He is said to have told police that he climbed through into the building to visit a person he knew. He said, "I thought I had ended up in a B&B, saw the book, and started to read it." Giovanni Nucci, the author of The Gods at 6 o'clock, which explains the Iliad from the perspective of the gods, said, "It's fantastic. I'd like to find the person caught red-handed and give him the book because he'll have been arrested halfway through reading it, and I'd like him to be able to finish it. It's a surreal story, but it's also full of humanity." The thief was reportedly in possession of a bag containing expensive clothing allegedly stolen from another house earlier that evening, so he was indeed a burglar. And then finally, we'll end with this. The owner of a Connecticut farm said 3 bison that escaped earlier this week came back on their own with a 4th bison in tow with them.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Amanda Maresca, whose family owns 3B Ranch, said 3 bison escaped by knocking over a section of wire fence on Sunday.
Can we keep them?
And all 3 animals returned to the farm on their own Tuesday night. Maresca said that the returning bovines were accompanied by a newborn baby bison.
And someone got knocked up.
And she said, what we've been kind of saying is that the bison went on maternity leave.
Yeah.
Maresca said that she is hoping to involve the public in choosing a name for the bison baby. And that is what we have in the bizarre file for you this morning. All right, all this morning I've been asking you to text in the word secret to 39333. It is time now to give away our Word of the Week prize, and Kathy gets to pick the number. So, Kathy, what numbers are going to be today?
12.
All right, 12 caller, 215-263, WMMR. We will see if you know the secret text word. We'll get a random texter as well to give the prize to. We'll come back in a moment. Trash and music news on top of that. Stay with us.
A happy ending of some sort. So saying my gift to you.
Yeah.
And we see the minister who's going to marry him walk into the restaurant and go, "Oh, Father, over here, come on, over here." So he comes to the edge and he starts having a conversation with us, and Tom's going, "Oh, Jesus. Oh, Mother of God. Oh, Mother Mary and Joseph." Oh, he's writhing and everything. And I say, he always says grace before he eats. So.
That's great.
He can't take it anymore. He gets up and runs out. And I said, "Father, sit here. It's the best seat in the house." Close up on his face, you hear the zipper sound, and his eyes go like.
That's great.
Didn't make it in the movie. We had offended everybody else. They didn't want to offend the Catholics.
It's so freaking funny.
You and Tom were friends. Could you tell then what a talent he was and what he was going to go on to
And
be?
honestly, one of the nicest guys in the business.
That's-
Everything that's ever happened to him, he deserves every bit of it. He's a great, great guy.
That's great.
Very talented.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you.
A lot of people don't know this, but Tom was not originally cast in that role, and neither was Tawny Katane.
Tawny Katane was the it girl of the time, and she was the White Snake videos. It predates, I think, the White Snake video.
Who was?
Well, we shot 1 month with the other cast.
Who was it?
Oh, no way.
It was Paul Reiser.
Really?
And Kelly McGinnis.
Oh, my goodness.
Did they get fired?
Well, the producers just felt there wasn't a chemistry going on and everything. And Tom, they had just seen a screening of Splash.
Okay.
Oh.
And they said, we really need to get that guy
that's like
for this.
I couldn't even imagine. And Paul Reiser's talented, man, but he's great. He just doesn't have the kinetic.
He was very funny.
Was he?
He was very funny.
Yeah.
There just wasn't a chemistry that was going on.
That's happened before. Back to the Future. Eric Stoltz was. They filmed for quite a while with him in the lead role, and
the scene where he falls and hits his head. That's Eric Stoltz's head. When he falls out of the tree, bonks his head on the.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's Eric Stoltz.
Wow. Okay.
Did not know that.
It's if you've never seen Bachelor Party, and it's worth going back for a visit. A number of people also texting in asking if we're going to bowl tonight, Adrian.
It's funny. I've had the great fortune and lucky to have 2 cult classic movies that are really. They're targeting completely different people.
Yeah.
And it's just really kind of cool after all these years. In theater, which is really my first love, and that's why I still do theater. If I'm going to be doing television and film, I'd rather be behind the camera these days. But if I'm going to act, I'd rather be on a stage because that is the actor's medium. It's electric. It's like a drug. Yeah. And Grease, too, it was an opportunity to put it was my Danny Zuko that I put on film.
Right, because you weren't. They had to created another character, which is basically Danny Zuko.
Yeah,
and it was a weird thing because you had Grease comes out. You have Travolta's on a meteoric rise. You have Olivia Newton-John. You have all these big stars in it, and then they go with Grease 2 and they cast. Not unknowns, but
they actually did something really kind of. They were took a big chance.
Yes.
In what they did. They did not. It was very unique what they did. They also created they created a musical that was never a proven hit on Broadway.
Right.
So none of these songs had ever been heard. It didn't have a track record or anything. And a lot of people, Grease 1 obviously was a massive, huge success. But Grease 2 didn't actually do badly. It in its theatrical release, it made about $80 to $100 million.
I watched
at that time, and people think that it wasn't as big a hit, but today it outrents and outsells Grease 1.
Really?
It's more kid friendly, and it's actually more of the essence of what Grease, the original Broadway show, was about. It was about all the T-Birds. It was about all the Pink Ladies, whereas the movie of Grease became a vehicle for John and Olivia. In the play, Kaneki sings "Grease Lightning," not Danny.
That's true.
It's his car.
Yeah.
Everybody has had a song in the Broadway show to tell you their story, and that's what. So it's more of an ensemble piece. And Grease 2 was directed by Pat Birch, who was the choreographer of the Broadway show. So she wanted me to do that role badly because they wanted to put a rock star in that role because there weren't any known faces. Michelle had just done, I think, Hollywood Nights.
This is Michelle Pfeiffer
with Tony Danza.
Right.
At that point, it wasn't a big hit or anything like that.
Remember,
and Maxwell Caulfield was not. He was an English actor, but hadn't done much. And they really wanted a rock star in that role, but Pat wanted me to do it. So she strategically brought me in. After they would see like one of Casey and the Sunshine Boys or one of the Gibb brothers or whatever, and then I went in and said, "All right, it's still his. All right, it's still." Until after 12 callbacks, they finally said, "Wow, all right, it's his role."
Well, honestly, I watch it every time it's on. It has a good energy to it. You're, again, sort of a self-deprecating, funny guy. The whole bowling sequence is pretty, you can't help but get swept up in it, and it has its own energy. And to this point, you had a lot of talented people involved with it.
Yeah, a lot of people came out of that thing. Even the Seagal twins went on. The girls who were the cheerleaders went on to have their own series.
You have a lot of fans in Philadelphia, and to prove that, I'm gonna show something to you. I don't know if anybody has made you aware of this or not, but I think Steve made an offhand comment one day about somebody getting an Adrian Zemed tattoo. So we do this feature every Tuesday called Tattoozy. People come in and actually get a tattoo from our show. It's called the Preston and Steve. They'll get a tattoo with us in it, and we've been doing it for years and years and years. We had a guy who called in and volunteered to get an Adrian Zemed tattoo.
God, I'm looking at it right now.
This is a guy. That's your face on his right pec. It's huge. This was within the last year.
Within the last year, yeah.
Yeah, that we
and
had
the guy
this done.
eagerly came in.
Please tell me that's not permanent.
That's permanent. That's a real tattoo on this man's
So when
chest.
he's 90 years old and I look 90 on his chest.
Yes.
What was I thinking?
So we took a picture of you from Grease 2, and that is now permanently on this guy's chest, Adrian.
This reminds me of something that Sally Struthers said about tattoos back when we were doing Grease. She said, "Oh yeah, back in the '60s, I was a flower child. I got a tattoo of a butterfly on my butt. Now it's going into its cocoon."
We're so delighted that you had a chance to come by here. We are big fans.
Nice to come in.
We knew you'd be great.
Yeah,
be with you
you'd
guys.
be cool. That's great, man. Excellent.
It's my pleasure.
And you know what? We should do a promotion where we go bowling with Adrian sometime.
Yeah.
How cool would that be? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, some love for Adrian Zemed. Thank you so much. The first time Zoe Kravitz and Channing Tatum met, she called him out for wearing Crocs. The two actors met while teaming up for Kravitz's directorial debut. Have you heard of this movie? It's called Pussy Island.
No.
Yeah.
I like it.
The Magic Mike star told Deadline, "I totally loved Crocs for a hot second, and in one hang, she was like, 'You can't ever do that again.' And I said, 'Okay, fine.'"
Okay, so the bigger question is, what's the plot of Pussy Island?
I think it's not what you think it is. I think the name
about vaginas.
It's not that.
Oh, okay.
It's something else. At least that's what I read a blurb. I didn't go into detail about it, but I heard it's not supposed to be vulgar,
like Lord of the Buttholes.
There you go. It's pretty much the same story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of the conch, they blow something else.
Exactly.
Right. Kravitz insists that she was just trying to be a good friend, adding, there are people out there who can pull off the Crocs thing. I just wasn't sure you were one of them.
Didn't we just hear, though, that the Crocs have come back into quasi-fashion?
Yeah, but I mean, if anybody could pull them off, it's Channing Tatum. You know, that guy can wear whatever he wants, and it'll be fashionable.
Marissa is scanning to find out the plot of Pussy Island, and I can't read that. It's too tiny. Hang on a second here. Frida is young, clever Los Angeles cocktail waitress who has her eyes set on the prize, philanthropist and tech mogul Slater King. When she skillfully maneuvers her way into King's inner circle and ultimately an intimate gathering on his private island. She's ready for a journey of a lifetime. Maybe it does mean pussy.
Is this kind of like a Jeffrey Epstein thing?
I don't know.
Impossible.
I do not know. What would it be harder to lick the inside of my ear or the inside of my belly?
No, belly button.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How about butthole?
Just set. No.
Okay.
Oh my God, no.
Well, honestly, it's just a common thing. You ask anybody at work. Would you mind licking my butthole? I'm sure that's being asked in every business. But I mean, that's just simply for a scientific test.
No, but somebody recently told me that guys love that.
No,
that is incorrect.
Listen, there may be some that dig that.
No, I do not.
Yeah, I know. We
She goes,
know why.
they'll go wild.
What?
No.
Who said that?
I swear to God.
Who?
All right, write it down.
Diane, your wife.
Oh, you dare. Because I thought it was Jerry. I thought it was your mom.
Yeah, your mom who won't let you eat gum out of a vending machine is encouraging you to toss people salad.
When does it become that act?
We should call it a hobby. You should call it a blow hobby.
Well, no, but
yeah,
right. And then maybe we'll dig it more.
Let's
so
use
how about a hand hobby, please?
Let's use euphemisms if we're going to do that.
Feel free.
So, when is it stop being a handy and become a hand hobby?
Yeah.
When does it stop being a blowy and become a blow hobby?
I think they're both the same.
Well,
No, I know what you're saying. You're saying when it stops becoming
It's
a
like
job,
anal sex
right?
hobby.
You don't want it to be a job.
correct. But when? Well, crap.
All right, never mind.
I can't do it.
We're never gonna be able to get into the meat.
It's a nuance that we can't.
So
Are you talking about finishing?
Yes.
I thought
Well,
you
you
were talking
always
about,
should finish any job you start.
Thank you.
I thought you were talking
Let's
about.
put a button in it right there.
My parents always taught me that.
Finish every
You
job.
don't quit in the middle. This I do know. Yoplait, the yogurt company, has now introduced a yogurt they call UMM all my life. It's 10:07, Preston C radio program, a Wednesday morning. And Wednesdays are when we have a little thingy we call the secret text word. And we had asked you to text in the word secret over the course of the morning, and we would send a word back to you. If you are the keeper of that word and you're calling number 12, you're going to win our prize right now. So let's go over to the phones. And we do indeed have Mike, who is our 12th caller. Mike, good morning, sir.
Yoo-hoo! Hi, Mike.
All right, Mike, do you happen to know the secret text word?
I do. Is it volcano?
Volcano! That is correct, Mike. Want you to hang on a second because you get tickets to see this band that I'm playing right here, Kaleo. They're playing Saturday, September 14th at the Fillmore. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. And you can go to WMMR.com for more information that you may need. Also, our random texter is Anthony Hayek of Chestnut Hill. So Anthony also gets 2 tickets to see Kaleo. And they're doing what's called the Payback Tour. Saturday, September 14th at the Fillmore in Philadelphia. So congratulations. It's a good tune, man.
It is a great song.
Good. All right, lesson question time. We're going to give away a $100 Nebraza Brazilian Steakhouse gift card if you can answer this question correctly. And I pose to you, turns out that earwigs do not actually lay eggs in your ear, but which kind of birds do? 215-263 WMMR. It turns out that earwigs do not actually lay eggs in your ear, but which kind of birds do? We found this out earlier this morning in the 8 o'clock hour. 215-263 WMMR. While you're calling in, we will do the trash.
The trash business is a gold mine.
93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you by Philly Sports Trips. You can join us in Clearwater Beach next March for the spring training trip of a lifetime. Go to phillysportstrips.com and place a small deposit to reserve your spot, and we will have a blast again. What's going on this morning, Steve?
Well, Kanye West and Bianca Censori taking his daughter north to a South Korean toy store, saying she could have anything she wants. Apparently, the only thing North wanted was for Censori to finally put on some goddamn clothes.
Hey!
The handwritten lyrics to Dylan's Blowing in the Wind are now on sale at a fan collector's site for $85,000. Blowing in the Wind is coveted amongst Dylan fans as it comes from the short-lived, we can actually understand what he's saying, period.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
And finally, LeBron James saying, hell no, to his son Bronny will be calling him dad when they are sharing the court next NBA season. LeBron says Bronny has been instructed to only refer to him as Tori Spelling. What? And that's your Hollywood trash.
All right, we're looking for an answer to the question. It turns out earwigs do not lay eggs in the human ears, but what kind of birds do? And we will go to Johnny, see if he knows that. Hey, Johnny, morning.
Hey, thanks for taking my call on the Bapa Suda Basu Bapa New Gaga Bapa.
Oh, he nailed it. You nailed it. All right, Johnny, what kind of a bird lays eggs in your ear?
It'd be the Great Canadian Goose.
Goose is correct. You got, buddy. Hang on. Johnny got himself a $100 Nebraska Brazilian Steakhouse gift card. Nebraska Brazilian Steakhouse offers a one-of-a-kind dining experience with 15 cuts of meat and fish grilled to perfection and served tableside. Book your reservation in Horsham or Philly. You can visit Nebraska.com.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, just two stories to pass along to you. We'll begin with this one. There's been some wild speculation in recent days about Sum 41's Derek Whibley potentially joining Linkin Park. But finally, Whibley has set everything straight. It's all started with a message from Sum 41 social media account on August 26th. The message read, "Tune in Wednesday morning, Derek Whibley announcement." The message followed Linkin Park sharing a countdown clock on August 24th that's set to expire today on the 28th. So they, saw these two parallels. And
right, they thought this is a big announcement.
Something going on with him. For those two messages alone, fans kind of lost their minds over that. But finally, Whibley took to social media and wrote the following statement. He said, "I feel the need to dispel some current rumors. It's been brought to my attention that many people think that I could be joining a reuniting band. But I just want to say, despite popular belief, I am not joining Oasis or Linkin Park or any other band for that matter." I continued saying, "I have my own tour and book announcement that I will now move to the end of the week ahead of our U.S. tour."
He's also announcing this new epoxy that he's selling that, if sprayed on a screen door, Preston, could serve as the bottom of a boat.
Wow.
And the boat. There you go. Yeah, that.
So he said, "I do look forward to seeing whatever future both of these amazing bands do in the future." And so as for the Linkin Park report they surfaced in May that 3 members of the band were reportedly considering returning to the road. It was previously reported that Mike Shinoda, Brad Delson, and Dave Farrell were the said band members. A reported tour was being helmed by members. Sorry.
By members.
What the hell? A reported tour is being helmed by booking agency WMME. That's what I'm trying to say. Who is also reportedly looking into headlining festival dates for this version of Linkin Park. On top of that, there were reports that Linkin Park was looking into hiring a female singer to take on the vocals of late frontman Chester Bennington. Before these reports, Evanescence singer Amy Lee had made headlines in April after being asked about rumors that she was being recruited to front Linkin Park.
They're not even talking to Caitlyn Jenner?
While she was flattered about being tied to Linkin Park, in the first place, she denied that she's been contacted by anyone from the band. However, she seemed a little interested in the idea. I don't know if Caitlyn Jenner really sings that much or not.
Crawling in my skin.
Okay. That could work.
Did I get the gig?
Yeah, congratulations. She said, "They should ask me about that. I don't have a ton of free time, but I might do it part-time." So, but
You know what amazes me, going back to the earlier part of the story, the Derek Whibley thing? That guy, I thought for sure that guy was going to die. I mean, he was as out for the count as you could get, and now he's back and doing great.
Yeah, so much so that he had liver problems.
Yes.
I mean, like his drinking was
severe alcoholism.
Very, very life-threatening. So he's got it back. They're doing well. So that's all.
Performing with Caitlyn Jenner.
All good news. He and Caitlyn Jenner are a couple. It's great. All right.
See the dog and the butterfly.
One of our interns is leaving. We're turning everybody over. It really, really sucks. We've had a really great batch of interns this time around, and we would like to welcome to our microphones Rose Cassidy, who is here with us this morning. Rose, so sad you're leaving. Oh, when did you first join us? How long have you been with us now?
Like the end of May.
Okay.
End of May.
All right, so we had you all summer long.
Yeah.
Seems like the beginning of June.
It does.
Wow.
A little bit about you, if you don't mind. For those who don't know, where do you go to school?
I go to Temple. I'm a senior this year.
Senior.
Yeah.
Wow, how does that feel?
Scary.
I was probably figured that was a word that was going to come out of your mouth.
You have a light class load, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got a lot of stuff out of the way. You have a good living situation.
Yeah. Shout out to my roommates. Happy birthday, Jen.
Today's your birthday?
Yeah.
They went to you were just in John Bon Jovi's club down in Nashville, right?
For my friend Skylar's birthday. It was great.
Yeah, how's the club, John's place?
It's really nice.
Okay.
There's 5 floors.
Wow.
Oh, really?
We didn't know there was an elevator until we left.
Yeah, all of the bars there go
up and level and are open.
Yeah, open, and each floor has a different band playing.
Wow. Did you scream woo at any point? Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to. You can't go unless you do that.
You are a Delco gal?
Yeah.
Where from?
Springfield.
Oh.
Okay, so hang on a second. Did you go to LPH?
Yeah.
Okay, and which one of my parents had an impact on your life? My mom wasn't your CCD teacher, was
No,
she?
your dad.
My dad was your deacon?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
an altar server.
Aha.
How about
So there you
that?
go.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And when you graduate, I know you said it's scary because that probably means like, what am I going to do when I graduate? What are you interested in going into?
I don't fully know yet. I think I'm just open and eager to gain as much experience as I can in any type of media. I know that I like the production side, and from this, I like live radio and just media because you have a plan and hopes for what could happen, but you don't actually know.
Right?
And it forces you to stay calm and problem solve, and I think that that's really valuable.
Okay. You're definitely a calm individual.
Yeah.
That's a good
I
attribute.
don't
It's
feel
very
calm
good.
right now at all.
No.
Well, you're
Bugging
doing
out?
great. You're doing great.
All right.
No, that's good. And again, we've talked a couple times. Sometimes you place this onus on yourself, like, I gotta know decisively. You're in the realm you want to be in, and you're going to see things you like and things you don't like, and you can figure it out that way. But you don't really know until you're doing it what
Yeah,
you're going to
exactly.
enjoy. So.
All right. Well, we want to thank you for your help here. It's
Thank
been we can't say enough about our interns. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes that we definitely could not do on our own. So we very much appreciate your assistance. And good luck to you.
Thank you.
All
Thank you for this experience.
Our pleasure. Rose Cassidy. She's leaving us now. All right, that means new interns are on board, and we'll be meeting some new people very, very soon. We'll bring you up to speed on all that, but we do have to take a break right now. We'll come back in a second, and we will wrap the program up. Stay with us. Yeah, man.
Well, that's a candy, right?
It was, I believe.
Well, not a
right?
candy.
It was gum.
No, it was like a fruit.
Peter North, and I'm very excited about a new product line from YoPlay called Gushers.
Tell me more, Peter.
I've been part of the R&D on this product for quite a long time.
Oh, my God.
It was like a fruit snack, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And for ladies, squirters.
Oh, my God.
Pizza Hut seems to be trying to bring in new customers by reviving old menu items, and the latest is what they call the Edge, part of the chain's nostalgia campaign.
My name is Bono, and I'd like to introduce a new pizza sensation to you. It's called the Edge. Some people say this is a revolutionary pizza, but it's not. It's a pizza that's been here before, probably in your own big fat belly. Remember what we say here, avoid the noid.
That's Domino's. This is Pizza Hut. All right, so it's called The Edge, and
It's called The Edge.
Pizza Hut considers The Edge. It was first introduced in 1997, and they call The Edge a tavern-style pizza.
Oh, yeah.
It's cut into 16 squares and comes in a cracker-thin crust.
I remember this.
Geometrically perfect and a taste sensation that'll rock your world.
And it will be available at participating Pizza Hut locations.
Order now and receive a mid-sized Coke.
Mid-size.
It'll be available at participating locations nationwide for about $13.
So I did Pizza Hut just not that actually that long ago. It was probably during Lent, and I did it because we had been talking about it. I'm like, I
You're a
haven't.
man of faith.
Well, I hadn't had a Pizza Hut pizza in a long time, so I ended up getting a regular pizza, and then I got the stuffed crust pizza. And I know that you guys are all out on stuffed crust. I thought the stuffed crust was.
You're a filthy animal.
I know, but I thought it was markedly better.
I'm not out on stuffed crust, but I just don't order it. You know what I
Too
mean?
much.
I know, and I
Why don't they just take a fire hose and spray cheese on you as you come in?
Right.
So this pizza, looking at it, I'm glad thin crust has kind of made its way around the country because I grew up in St. Louis. This pizza called the Emos. You guys know I've talked about it for years. That's what it is. It's just thin crust pizza.
Version of The Edge.
It's cut in squares. That's the way they've always cut it, and it's been since I was a baby. Essentially that I've had that. So
Suckling at your mother's teeth.
I prefer this type of pizza. I'm glad that it's made its way around.
And so I don't actually ever remember this as a menu item. So
I don't
you
remember
guys,
this from Pizza Hut either, Steve.
I do.
I remember Domino's.
You do?
I do remember this, yeah, and I remember it because of like the way that they were able to cram as much pizza on as thin a crust as possible and get it all the way to the edge. Hence the name.
Well, this was kind of like you said, 97, right?
Yeah.
So like that was past at least my Pizza Hut days. I think the last time I had Pizza Hut, I was in like middle school.
You were not in college or ordering pizza?
Was the time at downtown Julie Brown.
Wubba, wubba, wubba.
No, Nick, you know.
Wubba wubba was the battle cry as they took to the pizzas. And the ovens flamed with the fires of edginess.
Wubba wubba.
So Nick, we had like the famous like pizza restaurant that we would go to in Westchester.
What famous pizza restaurant was it?
Mores, I think it was called.
That's a mores. It's love.
We had Oips.
College towns always have the the local pizza joints.
Yeah,
It's fantastic. The one at University of Missouri was Shakespeare's, and it was outstanding.
Original Italian pizza, Oips. Everybody ordered.
Oips?
Yeah, original Italian pizza is what that stood for, and that was the college town pizza. Yeah, so but you wouldn't order from OIP. You'd from Oips. That's
I like
Oips.
that. Yeah.
All right, let me move on to something else. You had mentioned your mustard, Nick.
Yes.
You may want to try that on watermelon. It's the latest thing that people have been sampling. Lizzo kind of made a big deal about it on TikTok. So she had she made a video of her doing some funny TikTok things where there's some edits and all of a sudden the watermelon appears and so on.
So this to me, Preston, seems like the old thing of putting salt on watermelon.
Yeah, I grew up putting salt on watermelon. I don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
But they had said it was to bring out the sweetness by adding the salt. And
I heard that on cantaantelope.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing. Kid.
Yeah, and I like them.
Any melon will do.
So here's the thing.
Doesn't matter if it's a cantaloupe or a honeydew or a cassava. Any melon covered in salt will bring out the sweetness of the savory. Living together on one melon the way we should all live together.
Now people are trying mustard.
Now they're trying mustard just like Lizzo.
Yeah, so, but the jury's out on whether she thought it was good or not. So she had called it, is it bussin' or disgusting?
Is it bussin' or disgusting?
But she never really...
Is it bussin' or disgusting?
In this video said whether it was bussin' or disgusting, so...
No, she doesn't. And I think, so the common thing of like sea salt and caramel.
Yes.
So to me, that does work. And some things that I thought would never work do work. I don't know about the watermelon and the mustard. It just seems to be too combating.
Yep.
I'm tying it into the previous conversation. We used to do mustard on pizza.
Okay. I can see that.
Did you
I don't know. I'm not sure. Somebody.
Ranch dressing, Kathy.
Ew, no. That's just
You
for
said,
the,
"Ooh, no,"
that's
but
for
you
the
put-
crust, right? Or the whole pizza.
You can do the whole pizza.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
should-
I
we
know. I
should have
said
gotten
ew, no,
watermelon.
yet I put mustard on pizza. Sorry.
We should have taste tested this.
Casey, when's the last time you've had ranch dressing on pizza?
It's been a while.
Been a while?
At least 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
Do we have something that could approximate a melon and put some mustard on it?
Wait, I might. Let me see if I have.
Do you keep a melon in your desk drawer?
I might have
Kathy
watermelon.
brings a ton of fruit every day, remember?
Oh,
She brings
can we try
giant
that?
fruit salad.
Yes.
Go see if you have watermelon.
Yummy.
We'll try it.
Let's get it.
I'm sure
Kathy rises to the challenge.
there's got to be mustard in the fridge.
Yes.
Connor, can you go look in the fridge and see if there's any mustard?
Let's try it.
Or Marissa's already on her way. But yeah, I got to believe no matter what, it's not good. And this is just a thing that people have done to make you eat mustard on
Preston,
watermelon. Here, try this.
People are eating Tide Pods, so you have to take everything with a grain of salt.
Here's a text. Somebody says, my husband always puts pepper on his cantaloupe.
What?
Interesting.
What, in prison?
No.
Oh.
But I've had, you know what? I've had fruit in salads before, and you put pepper. Like, there's strawberry salads and things like that.
Do you know what I
Pepper
do?
on that.
So, and it's a weird. So, Honey Grow, I do the like a sesame noodle. Whatever they call it, it's a salad, I guess it is.
Okay.
But pineapple in that. So something, pineapple and sesame and a sesame sauce work together really well.
I could see that work. Sometimes when you have like a teriyaki dish.
Yes,
there'll be
exactly.
pineapple in that.
That's the same thing.
Sesame oil in usually in that. So that'll play along.
It's great.
Let's see if Kathy is.
Chef for melons. Where's Kathy's melons?
Hang on. Here we go.
They're usually on display.
I mean that in a non-sexual way. In the way she has a 44-pound.
We got it.
We do.
So you got watermelon. So we can try this. Should I just hold off until we get
Hold
this?
off.
All right. Because
Hold.
now we're in Braveheart.
Yeah, there we go. I got you.
Freedom! Do you want to
Siomi is how I think that's how you pronounce it. Siomi?
Villanova.
I think it's Siomi Villanova. But I'm happy to hear that sound again from Smashing Pumpkins. Very cool. 1026 on this Wednesday morning as we're getting ready to wrap up today's program. And a fun one today. Had a really good time chatting with you guys.
Yes,
and,
it was good.
And the guests we had on today were awesome. Peter and Dan Romano, not Romano, Romano, from Romano Stromboli, the original. They came by because they won that Hers contest for the Philly flavor. And when we found out that they are where the Stromboli was born in 1950, his grandfather.
Again, it'd be like finding out that spaghetti was invented by your neighbor.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
And Pete and his son Dan came by and told the story and some really good stories behind the whole thing. So that was a cool conversation with them. So we thank those guys for coming by today. And then otherwise, and we're sending off Rose, our intern, and a new batch. Making their way. We were meeting some new interns today, actually. So, but other than that, that's all I have to. Oh, one more thing to recap. Live band karaoke voting starts tomorrow at 7 a.m. Oh, and by the way, I don't even know if I'm going to be here tomorrow.
Oh my God, that's right.
We're gonna find he could be serving on a jury. It could be the murder trial of the century.
I don't know. I
could be away for months.
I have jury duty, and
or it could be a mob trial, and then they
Find
rough you up,
kill you,
maybe, or bribe me,
or bribe you. You're not above that.
But I put in for a deferment, meaning just to try and reschedule it for October. Because it is going to the holiday weekend. I do have things planned with my family. And, I said I would like to, because we plan on going somewhere.
Right.
But I would hate to have to put that in hold. But
the wheels of justice don't come to a stop for your travel plans.
But I won't find out until today at 4 p.m. That's the earliest that I can call and find out if I will indeed be on jury duty tomorrow.
May I suggest something?
Because I'm on jury duty doesn't mean I'll be on a jury, but I may very well.
Commit a felony as quickly as you can.
I know. I'd consider that. Would a misdemeanor work? Because I'm not crazy with the felony.
I don't want it to be a gray area.
You want to be clear?
Yeah.
Cut. That I cannot indeed serve on the jury. Anyway, so we'll find out. You'll find out tomorrow morning. Tune in whether I'm here or not. Hi, Pierre Robert.
Why, good day then.
Nice to see you.
And to you, CI.
Have you?
So the Yoda's here.
All right.
And for you,
Yeah, I will.
You ever served on a jury?
I have had duty before, and
you were a high-priced trial lawyer.
I was, yeah. I was who they built Law and Order after. I was a couple times, and I think they give you like a number to call before at a certain time, and each time I didn't. They said you're not needed.
That you don't even need to come in.
Right.
That's happened with my wife a number of times. Not so with me.
Never happened
I
to me.
believe that for actually an extended period of time, I was the sole juror available.
I would love to have you on because you would be so fair, so bright, so intelligent, so willing to listen. So if I was the criminal defendant, I would love to have you as the jury.
I appreciate that. That's what I was. I come in, I hum that as I go in. But they know to look for people who are actually drawn. There's a special, there are people who love the jury and love who are
process
or fans of the Discovery investigation, and they kind of want to stay away from those types. They want just the regular citizen.
I've been called to not only come and serve, but actually been called up to be on a jury a few times. And when you're there and you relinquish the fact, well, I have to do this.
Yeah.
I do find it fascinating. I'm like, okay, I'm serving a purpose.
You put Cosby away.
I will pay attention. I'll pay attention, and then I'll tell you what I think at the end of it all. And so
you do your best.
That part of it is cool.
Yeah.
But it's the whole taking away from your day and all the other things that come along with it. And you never know, you can be sequestered, and they do when you take a break for lunch. They're like, you have to stay in this room and you can't talk about the trial until it's over. Until everything is over, you can't sit around and talk about it. So we had to sit around with 11 other people and a couple of alternates too, and you just have to talk about stuff.
Yeah.
Would they let you bring your gaming unit?
No.
Like your Twitch?
I don't think so.
Cell phone though, you could fiddle
well,
on your phone,
no,
right?
not during
not during the trial.
Not during the
but
trial.
During the break, you could
not during the break either.
Oh,
I don't think so. You can't touch any of that stuff. While you're waiting to get chosen for a jury, you can bring books and your phone and all that stuff. But once it starts, they take all that stuff.
One time during that process, and you'd take the magazines and stuff, and you brought a book or whatever, they wouldn't even let you read or look at any of that. You just had to sit there.
Raw dog it.
Shut your pie hole.
Raw dog it, yeah.
That'd be an interesting topic for a group chat because I'm sure listeners have had many jury experiences.
Yeah.
Just suggesting that for a future
We'll get
show.
into that, maybe.
Yeah.
Hey, you could have personal experience by tomorrow.
That's nice, Pierre. Move along.
All right. How about the letter of the day?
We had a program director who would come in and go, "What do you think?" This was 3 or 4 program directors ago. And I would say, "Oh, I have this idea." And he would nod. And as he would nod, I could see it being sent into his head and shredded as right.
Like a paper shredder.
Great idea, Pierre. Yeah, let me look in. Which is what I just detected from my idea of a topic for the show.
No, I mean, we can easily talk about jury duty, but we'll find out if I get it or not.
Okay, good luck.
Letter of the day. Here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
All right, the Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by the letter
P as in purpose.
And we will give away a pair of pit tickets, parking, and VIP club access to the Killers. Saturday, September 7th at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. Tickets for the Killers are on sale now via Ticketmaster. By the way, we give away that tomorrow, so we're only 3 letters.
Tamari.
For the Word of the Week prize. What's happening on your program?
Well, we will have cool workforce blocks. By the way, tomorrow also is the beginning of the A to Z. An early plug for that, which starts at noon tomorrow.
I think it's so perfect that you are kicking everything off.
The bit this year, we always try to come up with a bit that surrounds it. The bit this year is that I'm the professor. Wake up, Kathy.
Sorry.
And
this story is so boring. No, I'm kidding.
Anyway, I'm the professor supposedly curating the thing. I don't know. So
I like it.
Follow along and we'll see what happens. It's going to be longer, though, and more songs, which I'm looking forward to. More on that tomorrow. On my program today, we'll get into a block of Volbeat and Mammoth Wolfgang Van Halen. You just said farewell to one of the interns, and you've done that a few times in the last few weeks. And we will do a tribute to a legendary employee as well with a block of Sublime in the blocks today.
All right, excellent. I want to thank our sponsors. Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by Dunkin', and the Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin'. Also brought to you by Acme Markets, Fresh Foods, Local Flavors, and Horizon Services. Help is on the way. Putting together a jam-packed show for you tomorrow.
Oh, my God.
Can't reveal anything as of now. But we will have all of those details tomorrow morning.
If you're even here.
If I'm here.
Yeah.
That's it. We're done. Rage on. Have yourself a great day. We'll see you tomorrow, friends. Bye-bye.